And we're back for the second round of the NBA draft. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here from Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcast. Plus also as well, Inside Sports, Fantasy Football. That's coming up around the corner, so look out for Inside Sports, Fantasy Football. Joe Soro, he is traveling up north. Hopefully he'll be in the chat. We don't know how much for longer because hopefully his promise won't hold true about Bronny James, but he is Mr. Simblades, Simblades with Y.com. Also as well, check him out as Ox 1947 at LakersBall.com. Also as well, of course, go ahead and check out what's going to go on with our good friends. Bloodhound, it starts in just a few minutes right here. The second round will begin very shortly. Because of the presidential debate, it is going on earlier. The second round for the second day. I think they had something planned as far as a evening show in mind, but because of the presidential debate, they wanted to go on a little bit earlier. But it is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. Don't forget Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Also as well. Of course, check out what's going on with all of our good friends, including the Lakerholics crew, Laker Tom and Jamie Sweet, Lakerholics.com. Of course, also as well, at report_court. Stone Hansen on Twitter. Go ahead also as well. Check them out at the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. Empire Jeff TV, Lakers in 5, John McCallion channel, John Costas, Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner, The Legend 350, great channel as well on YouTube. Support all these great channels if you can, but please go ahead and support us right here with a like and a subscribe. Empire Jeff TV is in the crowd as well. He said, hello, Podfather. Hello to you, my friend. Today, all of Joe's dreams come true, and the Lakers get Bronny James. You're trying to egg him on, aren't you, Empire Jeff? I see what you're doing. And everybody was talking about me when I was on earlier today about murdering Joe and wanting Joe gone. I don't want Joe gone. Joe is a great part of what we do here at the Lakers Fast Break. So I don't want him to leave. So hopefully the Lakers will not follow that path, which I am thinking they probably will. I mean, I'm here in Vegas. The odds are he will be taken at the 55th pick, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Empire Jeff TV says, my only wish for the day is to see the Joe rant after they draft him. Sell tickets to that. LOL. I will try to get Joe on regardless, whether it's today or if they get him on one last time for you guys to see if we can go ahead and do that. But will it be his last time? I think he's just blowing off some steam. I think he'll watch the Lakers. You just don't step away from the teams you love just because they make a wrong choice or 2 or 3 or 4, as the Lakers have done in recent years. Dalton Connect wasn't, I guess, so far from what everybody's saying, what everybody's seeing, and what I see as a bad pick. It looks like he might be able to really be productive in the league. So I think it might be a good pick for once for the Lakers. Let's see if they can follow that up with a good pick at 55. Keeping my fingers crossed that it will not be Bronny James, but I know the answer. I know it will be Bronny James, but I'm just hoping it won't be. I can hope, can I? I know Joe doesn't like hoping, but I can hope, can I? Hopefully Stone Hansen will stop on by, Legend 350, or one of the other guys that's out there that's been a great part of our draft coverage can go ahead and hit us up. I know the afternoon show kind of throws everybody off as far as the timing is concerned. So again, the NBA is just tweaking this second round. As Stone said, they'll probably put it on a night next year, would probably be my guess, before they decide whether or not to bring it back to a one-day format. Empire Jeff TV says, never, ever underestimate the rage and the commitment to rage from the one and only Joe Soro. I said I can hope, Jeff. Yes, I do know Joe, but maybe if it goes out as far as Bronny James being picked at number 55 and he vents and he screams and he rants and he raves and he yells and all that stuff, maybe just maybe I'll start asking him and nagging him to come back some time down the line. Maybe. Empire Jeff TV's Joe's already charging his rant battery. We'll see. We'll see indeed. Brenton says, I've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out when it comes to USC and the Lakers. Yeah. You know what, Brenton, USC football, I really think it's a mistake by the Pac-12 to disband. It was all about money. I think the offer that they were getting, about, what is it, 30 something mil, I think was maybe a little bit undervalued, but it was still a somewhat fair offer. And the fact that they broke up to go off to the Big Ten and other, they're part of they're smaller fish in a bigger pond now instead of their own platform. I think at some point in time, this is just a guess. You can just at me or hate me or whatnot. I think at some point in time, the Pac-12 or Pac-10 will reform, maybe as early as the end of the decade. We'll see. As soon as the requirements are done from all these schools, I think the NCAA will also probably say at some point, hey, we need something solid on the West Coast. Come on. But yeah, Pale Fox, we're just talking right now. We're waiting for the draft to begin. We're talking what we're going to talk about. Pale is a question that was put out there, so we're going to talk about it. So hold on to your horses. Keep your underwear and keep your underwear on. Don't you get your panties in the bunch. We'll be talking about here the draft here in a second. So don't worry, because there has been a lot of maneuvers in the draft so far. Actually, a lot of teams trying to maneuver, get off of their second round draft picks because of tax reasons. Also, as well, a lot of teams, including the San Antonio Spurs, have been trying to reach out as far as upwards of the 35 pick, which the San Antonio Spurs, well, that I didn't need to know. That's TMI, PF. That's too much information for me to handle. But yeah, I will say that when it comes to, and bro, back to you. By the way, second round, there are some teams out there like the San Antonio Spurs, which are offering two-way deals as opposed to guaranteed contracts. And San Antonio at 35 is trying to already pitch that idea out there. And that's kind of money saving on their part. But yeah, it's very interesting. Already the money deals, with tax and salary cap ramifications are very interesting. Very interesting that this is the mindset going in for many of these teams already. So yeah, it's just very interesting to see how things are starting to line up. I know that Stone Hansen on Twitter at report_court has said, actually just a few minutes ago, that he is kind of bothered by the fact that teams as high as you see there at 35, the San Antonio Spurs, are kind of already trying to work things out as far as two ways and offer two ways for that pick when it's normally a guaranteed contract there. So it's very interesting to see the money saving ideas that these teams are trying to pitch out there. So we'll see what happens again in regards to how this is all going to play out. But we have seen a number of trades for teams that are getting players. The thing that I wanted to know, that AJ Griffin, a first round draft choice in 2022, he has been traded for I think the 45th pick. If I go down there just a little bit more, 44th pick. He was traded for the 44th pick. A guy that was a first round pick just 2 years ago is already being moved for a mid second round pick. Wow. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But yes, let the cap gymnastics begin. And has begun already. A lot of teams. Davian Mitchell from the Kings has also been traded, I believe, to Toronto in a package deal, again, for picks in today's drafts. So yeah, absolutely. It's flying all over the place. We knew the second round would be more active as far as trades are concerned. But yeah, a lot of these teams are doing some cap gymnastics right now and seeing if they're trying to stay under the tax or stay under the second apron. With the if you are in the second apron, you are limited on what you can do financially. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, right now it is, of course, the second round of the NBA draft. So I'm looking forward to the coverage that we're going to provide here today. Hopefully, again, that as we saw and as we earlier, a lot of people are very happy with the Lakers selecting the guy out of Tennessee. Man, just a really good 4-year player. Looks actually fifth year senior. Of course, that is Dalton Connect. What he can do, hopefully for the team, maybe possibly get into a starting position sooner rather than later for him on the wing, being someone that maybe could provide instant offense for us, a shooter that hopefully will come into the league firing away and being able to connect at a high rate, something that Laker Tom has been dreaming of for quite some time. So, yeah, we'll see what happened. Sean Harder says, I trade JHS for a high second round pick. Well, I'd trade him for a low second round pick, to be honest. I'd trade him for a second round pick at this point in time because JHS, unless he really gets it into gear, I mean, Summer League is going to be very important for him and Maxwell Lewis. They need to take a step up. Second-year players in the Summer League always, or not always, should be dominating because of the experience factor there. So we'll see if they start taking a step in the right direction. So, yeah, well, we're definitely going to see. But Sacramento did some cost cutting. They're now back under the tax with the move that they made today in regards to trading away Davion Mitchell. So that's something very interesting. AJ Griffin, again, he was moved. Yeah, these small trades, they do have great ramifications on what's going on with the second round of the NBA draft. So it's going to be very interesting to see. But yes, I know that Stone Hansen had commented about the clear impact of what the ramifications are all about. As Jake Fisher reported on Twitter, one clear impact of the NBA's draft's second day has been teams trying to agree to two-way contracts before selecting a player in the second round. San Antonio, sources said, has pitched two-way deals as high as the number 35 pick, which would be the earliest two-way in history. And that, again, to me, that sounds like a lot of cost cutting, a lot of cap salary gymnastics there. And yeah, it's just very interesting to see how this is going to play out. But I'm just showing you here as of now what it looks like for the draft. And you see there what's going on as far as the listing. So we'll see there. You see the Suns and the 76ers have both forfeited their picks because of league penalties. So, yeah, and the Lakers, as of now, have the number 55 pick. Who knows? They may get off that pick too, or they may pick Bronny James. It's going to be with, of course, the undrafted with Austin Reeves. And yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what can happen today here in the draft. Looking forward to seeing what we could do for the second round. If Bronny James is going to be that pick or if it's going to be something else or someone else, we'll see. Because Lakers could trade up. Lakers could find themselves in this spending and buying spree and trading spree, find themselves with another pick. Should they go for Kyle Filipowski, who is the notable name that was bumped off the first round? That was an expected first round choice. So I want to hear your thoughts out that in the chat. Do you think Kyle Filipowski is worth trying to garner a second round pick for? Please let me know your thoughts right there in the chat. Would love to see them. Would love to hear them. So yeah, definitely would love to hear your thoughts on that. So yeah, definitely looking forward to a good second round. Very interesting second round. Hopefully 15 minutes in, we're still waiting for all the particulars to get started here, but yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what we can do to go ahead and get this thing going here coming up here in just a second. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Yes, indeed. So once again, it is Gerald Glassford, Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Second round gets no respect. It's set in the closet. Yeah, Bloodhound, I agree with you. I don't think we heard my already rants on it. I don't think the second round gets enough respect. Now that Nikola Jokic has been named a multi-time MVP, we have had now several second rounders get in the league and have good careers in the league. And I'm not sure why the second round has always been such an afterthought. Yes, the majority of second rounders do not have a fruitful career in the NBA. I get it. The statistics are there. I understand that, but be that as it may, with the fact that you've now had some real stars that have garnered a second round pick or that were a second round pick that have played really well in the league, it might take note or might be advantageous for the league to start promoting it a little bit more. And maybe that's what they're doing today with the fact that they're giving it its own separate day. And we'll see what kind of respect that they give to the second round going forward in the future. So, and as soon as I say that, Stone Hansen says, get rid of day 2. The in-season tournament was enough. Stone. Oh, Stone is going off on the Twitter at report_court. Again, looking forward to seeing what the Lakers will do in this draft as we get underway with the particulars. I know they're still recapping everything that's going on or that went on in the first round. I know that they're doing a lot of good things right now as far as started to talk more and more about what's going to go on in the second round here. But yes, the cap gymnastics, you knew that was going to happen to some extent. Some of these teams trying to save costs, some of these teams trying to avoid a larger tax bill. Minnesota also made some trades to try and get off their now enormous tax bill after their 2 first-round picks yesterday. What was it? I think it was 84 million was what the tax bill was going to be with Rob Dillingham. And you got to assume it was going to go even higher, possibly up to 90 million with their pick of Terrence Shannon Jr. So with Terrence Shannon Jr. in there as well. So if that's the case, they made a trade today to get off of their early second round pick. So they obviously have no incentive to try and gain and put more money in there. But here we go. The second round has begun. And let me go ahead and get everybody started. But Toronto selecting Jonathan Mugbo at number 31. So if you had Jonathan Mugbo, who was one of the top choices out there for Stone Hansen that was still left on his board. So if that was your pick, then you've got that. Still, Kyle Filipowski is still on the board as of right now. So that's going to be very interesting to see how far he falls in the draft. So we'll see what's going to go on with that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the second round lays itself out. But Jonathan Mugbo comes in at number 31 on the big board for the second round. He starts the second round off right now with the number 31 pick. He is a 6'7" power forward, good rebounder, really good rebounder out of San Francisco. So he can also pass the ball, good vision, good court awareness, average about 4 assists per game at San Francisco, something that I think a lot of people would be interested in seeing. Needs to get stronger, needs to build a little bit more body on that because he's 215. So if he's going to play the power forward position for you, it's at 215. That is sort of slight, but definitely a good eye for the rebounder for the boards. So yeah, definitely looks like he might be something. Pale Fox says he thinks that was a reach. I know, again, he was one of the top 25 choices, I believe, for for our good friend Stone Hansen. So, yeah, Jonathan Mogbo goes number 31 in the NBA draft. Yeah, Mogbo was childhood friends with Barnes. Maybe that's the case. I don't know if you would go ahead and really make that a high priority in your decision making, Bloodhound. But yeah, that's nice. That's his little added thing there. But yeah, the Toronto Raptors, I was thinking they would go for Filipowski because they do need the size, but apparently they don't. Whatever it is that Filipowski has done that has caused him to, I guess, drop so far. Is there an injury concern? I honestly don't know. I have not heard anything about what's gone on with Filipowski and why he is dropping so far. Pale Fox as the Raptors seem doomed. Maybe they are in tank mode, Pale Fox. Maybe they are heading into looking for, like Brooklyn is, towards next year, like several teams are looking for next year in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes and Ace Bailey and all those other prospects which emote to or bring out to a better draft than what we're seeing here this year. Dre says Terrence Shannon Jr., one of Minnesota picks last night, is 1.5 years older than Anthony Edwards. It's just wild. That's how much of a beast Ant is while being so young. Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely, because Ant is already such a great player, and he is still so young. So many years to go, so many years to develop. I thought they were ready to go ahead and take that next step to the finals, to be honest with you. Dre, I already said that during the course of the playoffs, but that wasn't to be the case. I think that what is going to do this is going to their playoff run is going to give them a lesson, help it being a learning experience for them. So we'll see what's going to happen with them. But yeah, I think they are very talented, and definitely want to go. Definitely think about what is going to go on with the actual draft now going forward, because Kyle Filipowski has been chosen. These drafts are going to come a little bit quicker, everyone, so be prepared. Kyle Filipowski is a Utah Jazz, a member of the Utah Jazz. He was picked at number 32. Another asset for Danny Ainge. Let's see if he fills out. I don't know how he's going to find time with Walker Kessler there, but we'll see how they work that out. But Utah has selected Kyle Filipowski at number 32 in the NBA draft. So we are just 23 spots away from the Lakers picking. It's going to go by real fast. Pale Fox is a steal by the Jazz. Yeah, I like Filipowski. All the footage I saw, game footage, and action in games, I thought he was a really solid center. I think he has a nice career in the league, but that's just me. I obviously these I don't know, these GMs, these scouts of these teams, they just passed on him. They just thought he just wasn't worth a first round flyer, and I was just very surprised by that. I thought he has first round talent, but evidently Utah is thinking otherwise, that they got themselves a good value at 32. JSJ says today is Joe's last day. I hope not, JSJ. I certainly hope not. I don't want that to happen. He's been a great part of the show for the past couple of years, and don't want that to happen. So, but he is a stubborn man, so we'll leave it at that. So, yes. So far, Jonathan Mogbo is at 31, and Kyle Filipowski is at 32. Bucks are next from the Blazers via the Kings. So the Milwaukee Bucks are next. We're going to find out what's going to go on here. Again, these picks are going to come a little bit faster at you than what we saw last night. So things are going to be moving hopefully a little bit faster. Will there be more trades? Will there be more maneuvers as far as cap gymnastics coming up? We'll see. But yeah, there was quite a bit of action before the start of this draft, this second round. So we'll see if there's going to continue. Yes. So right now it looks like Bucks are going to be making their 33rd pick. We're going to see what that is. Still waiting for the Bucks. But again, JSJ says out of the bloom Lakers trade the well, I don't know. We'll see. Pale Fox says everyone praying for LB Jr. gets drafted before the Lakers. Yeah, I am. I am. I'm hoping that's going to be the case, but I don't think it will be. I honestly don't think it will be. Will the Bucks do something dumber than the first round, which was AJ Johnson, a Californian, playing Australia, and averaged even less than Bronny. So that was the joke going around after last night, was that he averaged even less than Bronny. So yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Pale, I think that we will see what happens if the Bucks actually can find themselves a good value at this. We haven't seen them yet. They're taking their time though. It's funny because second round picks usually are bing, 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 bing. They're usually like one immediately after another. But Milwaukee maybe trying to do a trade. I don't know. They're trying to figure things out. We'll see. But yes, we will see what happens. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. Let me go ahead and I'll rise it up on here right now. If you go ahead and refresh your browser, it is actually Jonathan Mugbo, San Francisco. The NBA has not updated Kyle Filipowski, who is on the board for the Jazz right now. So we'll see coming up here, hopefully in just a few seconds, what the Milwaukee Bucks do. We'll find out coming up here in a minute. But yes, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Warriors and Clippers never had a first-round pick this year. Yeah, they due to trades did not have a first-round pick this year, and I don't think that they're eager to have second-round picks. I know that they do. Clippers are at 46. Warriors are at 52 right now, from what I'm seeing. So yes, we will see what they do with those picks, or if they try to get off of them, because that seemingly is the case. A lot of these teams are trying to get off their second round picks or offer them two-way deals to try and save some money, trying to get that cap gymnastics going. So yes, we will be seeing that over the course of the next little bit here, as far as two-way deals being offered. If they're, people decide to go ahead and commit to it, then they'll be selected because of it, or trades maybe still being made because of the fact that teams want to get off those salaries. So we'll see what happens. Again, Milwaukee Bucks taking quite a bit of time here on the selection of whatever they're doing at number 33. So my goodness. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought there was only 2 minutes per pick. Back in the previous drafts, it was second rounder was 2 minutes per pick, because they wanted to go ahead and speed things up. But maybe they have lengthened it out just for because it's a second day format now. That I was not familiar with. So we're just keeping it right now. Hopefully we have a pick with the latest information, and nothing as of yet. Finding out from Shams. He's been the one that's been dropping everything so far. Tyler Smith out of the G League, who could be the final G League draftee ever, is the number 33 pick for the Milwaukee Bucks. Rest in peace, G League. Rest in peace. Pale Fox's Giannis should go to the Lakers. That would not be something if that was the case. Yes, 6'10" power forward out of the G League Ignite. I did see him play. It's okay. Nothing really stood out for me when it came to Tyler Smith. But yes, G League player. Again, does play with experienced people as far as in the G League. So he was playing with NBA level, some NBA level talent in the G League. So on a regular and daily basis. Now, obviously, their G League record didn't amount to much, and that led to a poor crowd attendance, and ultimately the NBA deciding to nix the G League Ignite experiment, and now with the NIL also as well. Obviously, that played a factor, many factors, but yes, the end of the G League Ignite could come with this pick of Tyler Smith at 33. We'll see what happens, but yes, Sham Sharani reported Tyler Smith at 33. The next pick is the Portland Trailblazers, I believe, at 34. That pick has been thrown around a bit. It started with the Hornets, went to the Nuggets, then to the Thunder, and then to the Pelicans, and now the Trailblazers. So that pick has been moved 4 times. That pick's been traveling. I'll say that. So we'll see what happens with this pick. Again, it's Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again for watching and listening. Truly appreciate you joining us. The first couple picks have already been in. Jonathan Mogbo of San Francisco, Kyle Filipowski of Duke, and, of course, what you see below, Tyler Smith out of the G League at number 33. Good afternoon, Rough Artists. How you doing? No, we did not draft Bronny as of yet, Darth. We're not even yet to number 55. We're only at number 34. So hold on with the Bronny James talk yet. So we'll see what happens. But yes, right now, last pick again is Milwaukee, 33. Looking forward to seeing what everybody's doing out there, what your thoughts are here so far in this draft. Got it for you right there. Mogbo at 31, Filipowski at 32, and also Tyler Smith at 33. JSJ said 30 more minutes till we drop Bronny. Yeah, I have a feeling that that's going to be the case, and unless I'm proven otherwise, and I'm hoping I'm proven otherwise, that will be the case. But we'll see. Round 2 is underway. It is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us here. Still got a good crowd. If you haven't yet liked and subscribed, please do so to help us out here in the channel and give us the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. Darth says, I have a new Joe meme if we drop Bronny, Gerald. That's great. I can't wait for that. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But yes, we'll see what happens. But again, looking forward to seeing what will take place. Again, the cap gymnastics have begun. We're looking forward to seeing what the Portland Trailblazers will be doing at number 34. So, all right. They still have some picks left. They got the 40th pick as well. So they've been very active in the past couple of days, making a lot of trades. They got Donovan Clingan in the draft. So yes, definitely very active period of time for Portland Trailblazers fans out there. Darth says, Gerald, I tried a monster drink today. Oh, you know what, Darth, that's going to ruin your brains, my friend. You're already on those drinks. Yeah, whatever. But it's your choice. It's your life. It's your life, man. It's your teeth. But again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Gerald Glassford. Truly appreciate. Monster makes me order. I wonder why. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. We're following the second round as it happens. Hopefully Stone Hansen will be able to come on and join me. Plus also as well, anybody out there, Legend, I think I gave a shout out to you. I sent you a link, Legend, if you're out there. You're more than welcome to stop by and join us. Chase Soda is better. Sugar? More sugar. So I don't know, JSJ. It's going to rot his teeth out. Again, my son, who is a dentist, would say, if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. It just means you're going to come and need a guy like him a lot sooner. So it keeps him in business. And if that's the case, there you go. So Darth says, I drink soda too, JSJ. Sometimes I do a mixture. Oh, that's just Darth. You're going to give yourself a heart attack, man. That much caffeine is that's asking for trouble. But yes, right now, last pick is Tyler Smith out of the G League at number 33. We're waiting what number 34 will be with the Portland Trailblazers. Looking forward to seeing what's going to go on there. Bronny James is just all over the internet right now. It's funny on Twitter because you're just seeing so much of Bronny James at this point in time. He's like highlighted everywhere. So yeah, definitely is the key part of this second draft, the key item. And as far as the key draftee, I think it's just a matter of time before the inevitable happens. So we'll see what happens. But yes, 33 Is Milwaukee picking Tyler Smith out of the G League? Hopefully we'll get an answer soon. I thought it was a 2-minute break before. They must have lengthened it and must have given these teams more time to space these things out for the second round draft in the past. But we will see what happens here with the 34th pick of Portland. Looking forward to hearing what they have to say. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Is Bronny going to be a Laker at number 55? Want to hear your thoughts on that in the chat? Please go ahead and do so. Like and subscribe while you're here. It is me. I told you I would be here throughout the draft, and I'm holding to my word. And I'm still here. They didn't draft Bronny at 17. I'm not going anywhere if they draft Bronny at 55. I will just not being happy about it. Pale says they're loading up on point guards in Portland and trying to pick one that they like. I'm still a fan of Scoot Henderson. New York picks next. New York has taken over the spot. So New York via Portland is selecting Tyler Kolek. So yes, New York has, I think, traded for that spot. So second round draft pick is cheaper for them. So they have picked Tyler Kolek. Absolutely. That's Tyler Kolek right there. He has been picked. He's a point guard out of Marquette. Really good assist guy, really good court vision and awareness. So New York has picked up Tyler Kolek at the number 34 pick in the NBA draft. I guess that was why it was taking a little bit longer, because they could work out a deal with Portland. So New York via Portland is selecting Tyler Kolek at number 34. Yeah, that's according to Stadium. I'm getting my information pale from Stadium, FYI. If you want to go to Stadium on Twitter, they're getting the stuff, because Shams Charania is part of that, the Athletic Stadium, that whole, I guess, conglomerate working together. Darth said, wait, is Joe actually going to leave? Darth, if you know Joe, he's very stubborn. And what he says there, he says he will stop following Lakers basketball if they pick Bronny James. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Once again, it is Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. New York via Portland has selected Tyler Kolek, a point guard out of Marquette, the number 34 pick in the NBA draft. Number 35, the Pacers are getting Johnny Furphy. Johnny Furphy is a shooting guard out of Kansas. Good rebounder for his size. Definitely he needs to improve his jump shot, but out of Kansas, Kansas's Johnny Furphy is the number 35 pick in the NBA draft for the Indiana Pacers, who I believe still at this point in time have 3 picks in the second round. Let me make sure that they have. Yeah, they have. They have the 49 and 50 picks as well. So we will see what happens if they keep all 3 of those picks. I know it's not going to be the most cap-friendly thing. Maybe they're offering 2 ways, which will ease the pain a little bit more. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, just to give everybody a heads up, 34 was Tyler Kolek, who is headed to New York. And yes, after that, 35 is the Indiana Pacers are landing Johnny Furphy. So maybe that means that they alternated with the Spurs on that, because the Spurs were the number 35 pick normally, but Pacers were number 36. So they may have moved up one to go ahead and do so. Maybe some of those second round picks. I'm not sure. So we'll see. But Shams Charania says the Pacers are landing Johnny Furphy at number 35, even though they were number 36 heading into this draft. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. There you go. All right. New York via Portland at 34, selecting Tyler Kolek, and Pacers, according to Shams Charania, is landing Johnny Furphy at number 35. Dar says, if Joe leaves, can I take his place, Gerald? Absolutely not. I don't want to kill our ratings. Cool, bro. You have very you don't have enough knowledge on the NBA and the Los Angeles Lakers, my friend. That's why you're here to watch, so you gain that knowledge. So someday you may host your own Lakers channel on top of the Cool Bro channel. So there you go. No, don't even, this discussion has ended. Pale Fox says, we've heard he is distraught and on the hooch. Oh my gosh. But if that's the case, we'll still have lots of great programming for you here with or without Joe, hopefully with, but I'll be here. I'm not leaving you. There'll be still other great people that I can bring in, Laker Tom, like the old days. We had before Joe, we had Laker Tom here on a regular basis. We had Jamie Sweet here all the time. Yeah, so we will still be able to provide you. Plus, I will have to go on the search for more great analysis, people with analysis out there on the Lakers Fast to join us here at the Lakers Fast Break as a panelist. We'll still do no, don't even think about it, Cool Bro. So not even going to entertain that thought. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is the second round of the NBA draft. JSJ says, I would like to see JJ coaching Connect and Bronny if he gets drafted in the JSJ. Why are you trying to? Oh yeah, in the summer league. You know what? It's a. I don't know if he will. He says he would think about it, but I don't know if he will. I honestly don't. I'm not sure if he will. He should, but it's a prestige thing. You know, they usually give that to one of the other coaches, but since the Lakers don't have a coaching staff that they've officially announced yet, that could possibly be the case. I mean, next week, I think the end of next week is the California Classic. Yeah. California Classic is next week. So somebody has to coach the team next week. So maybe it's the G League coach. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But whatever, Cool Bro. But the Pale Fox is glad Spurs have got more shooting because. So the Pacers sent cash considerations to the Spurs to draft Johnny Furphy and also move back one spot. See, I don't understand why they do these things. It's just one spot. They could have gotten their guy anyways, but okay. I guess the Pacers really wanted Johnny Furphy. So the Spurs are collecting Juan. They're selecting Juan Nunez. Juan Nunez at number 36. So we'll see right there. Coming up for you right there. It's coming up here. Just a second. All right. So 36 is Juan Nunez for the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs made of, they've been very active in this draft overall. So definitely looking forward to seeing what they're doing, how they're going to shape a team around Victor Wembanyama. Looking forward to seeing how that plays itself out. But Juan Nunez, point guard, 6'5", 6'5" point guard. Also a good assist man. Definitely needs to improve a little bit on his shot. Good steals guy as well. He has been selected in the second round of the draft, but yeah, definitely needs to improve his jump shot because he only averaged close to 32% in international play. So we'll see what happens, but he did play for Germany. He is from Spain, but he did play in the German league and averaged 32%. So we'll see if that's something that San Antonio can develop as far as his shot. We'll see. But Gobstoppa said Fluffies, Murphy's, Furfies. Such a good, cool name. Yes, he can do Slurpee commercials. Slurpee Furphy. Yes, there you go. The legend says, good afternoon, Gerald. I'm just getting home from work. I will hop on in a few minutes. Great. That's awesome, legend. Always welcome here. I sent you the link already. Darth says, Shauna, yeah. He likes the past Lakers, but I'm glad you do, Darth. I'm glad you do. But yes, Juan Nunez out of Spain, played in the German league. He is the number 36 pick in the NBA draft. Coming up next, hopefully we have a new 37. All right, Minnesota is trading the number 37 pick to Detroit, which is targeting Bobby Clintman. So there you go. I know Bobby was talked about at the end of the first round. So there you go. All right. Popping it up there. And it's so funny because you're seeing all the vernaculars used between Adrian Wojnarowski and Sham Sharani on trying to come up with creative words for selecting or drafting or zeroing in on, you see them just trying to change it up between all these draft choices. So Minnesota is trading the number 37 pick to Detroit, which is targeting Bobby Klintman, according to what's going to go on right now for Adrian Wojnarowski. So that's Minnesota trying to get off those contracts because of the tax implications, because of what they did in the first round. And the Knicks are trading the number 38 pick to OKC. So yeah, it's hot and heavy right now, everyone. It is very hot and heavy. The Lakers should take advantage of this by if they see someone that they like that's up there still and available. Maybe that's the case, although Filipowski did go to Utah, which I was hoping that the Lakers could find their way to get him, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Minnesota, again, is trading the number 37 pick to Detroit, which is targeting Bobby Klintman, and the number 38 pick, the Knicks are trading that to OKC. So yes, let the cap gymnastics begin. Darth says, "Oh, Jero, when I get a job that pays me money, how much money do I have to super chat to become an LFB Avenger so I can save up for it?" You have to save quite a bit. JSJ, what do you think should be a fair amount? $1 million? $2 million? Maybe that's the case for Darth. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see indeed. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us here. It is, of course, the second round of the draft. The draft is continuing on. We're up to right now, I think, like I said, the 38th pick was traded by the Knicks to OKC. 37 looks like Minnesota is trading that pick away, and then Detroit is going to be picking Bobby Klintman. So Stone has been talking about Kyle Filipowski on Twitter at report_court. He's very happy with pick by Utah. Utah, I think, is going to get a good value out of him. I don't know if he'll ever be a starting center in league, but I think he'll be a very effective backup at the very least. Maybe at the highest of high ceilings, you could get near maybe a Hartenstein. We'll see. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what happens with Kyle Filipowski. Yes, $1 million. Yeah, if you'd super chat $1 million US dollars. We'll see. We'll see, Darth. There you go. Yeah, it has to be US dollars, not any other currency. So I'm not gonna. You got to hold. It's got to be US dollars, my friend. So there you go. But once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate joining me. It's Gerald Glassford as we continue on with the second round. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts and seeing your thoughts. Sean, you need to think for yourself, cool bro. Don't allow others. That's funny. Yes, absolutely. Your own opinions, Darth. Your own opinions, cool bro. So let's leave it at that. But Sean, always great to have you here. It is the Lakers Fast Break. Pale Fox says OKC just picks everyone. Isn't there a limit on picks? Evidently not, Pale. Evidently not. I don't know how they keep all. I mean, they've got so many players, yet they're still picking up players. How are they going to keep on going to? I mean, just you saw late last year they had to get rid of a few players, including I don't know what they're doing there. Sometimes they've got a plethora. They've got so many picks. And in fact, they even got rid of 5 picks yesterday for a first round draft pick. They got rid of 5 picks for one player yesterday. So yeah, absolutely. Just very, very, very interesting to see what's going to go on there. Blue Magic says salute. Welcome to the Bronny special. Please hit the like and subscribe. It is the Bronny James special invitational. We'll see what happens here in the second round. Pale Fox, sadly, guys like Poku are not being developed because they have so many. Yeah, Pale, I really like Poku coming out and into the draft. I thought that was somebody who could develop. But yeah, he just got snowed under. He got injured the wrong time. Didn't develop enough in OKC. He was let go. Charlotte picked him up. Maybe he'll have a chance in Charlotte. I don't know. Maybe he'll just head back to Europe. But I think he had some talent. I think he has good court vision. I think he passes really, really well. But again, we're not going to see that really develop, I think, over the course of the time in the NBA. So I think it's unfortunately kind of disappointing there, but we'll see. Maybe he'll be able to. Maybe Poku time is coming up still for us here in the NBA. Oklahoma City is next, and they're picking up AJ Mitchell at number 38. Oklahoma City is garnering the assets. So there you go. I'm going to post that right there. AJ Mitchell at number 38 in the NBA draft. All right, by OKC. Yeah, again, this is just going back and forth. We saw earlier that one of the picks has already been held by 5 different teams. So this doesn't surprise me in the least that this is happening. So I could go ahead and let me go ahead and post this up, what I have on screen right there. Jonathan Mogul, Kyle Filipowski, Tyler Smith, Tyler Kolek, Johnny Furphy, Juan Nunez, and number 37 was, I had it up here, number 37 was Bobby Clintman, and now AJ Mitchell is the latest at 38. All right, as we continue on with the second round, again, it's Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. You've got to really be a hoop head for the second round. The first round, I think a lot of casual fans, they stop by, they watch, they interact for their teams, and then they try to learn more about what's going to go on. But the second round, I think, is for us, the hoop heads out there that really want to get into it. I know Stone talked about it earlier today. He was really a really good conversation. If you get a chance, check it out. Took place earlier today here on the channel. Definitely looking forward always when he stops by. Hopefully he still will stop by as the second round continues on. Legend 350 hopefully will stop by as well. But we'll see. Number 38 right now was Oklahoma City picking up AJ Mitchell. 39 is the Memphis Grizzlies. That's coming up next. And who do they have? We don't know yet because they have not picked yet. So we'll see what happens with 39 and Memphis Grizzlies, who picked Zach Edey, number 9. Pale Fox says, I'm here for Lakers getting ready for another asset so we can trade some chumps out. And you say I'm harsh. Sean says, I wouldn't call you a hoop head, Cool Bro. Yeah. Cool Bro is here because, he's Cool Bro. Yes, hoop heads and Cool Bro. There you go. Absolutely. But yes, you guys out there are really excited about what's going to go on here. Is this going to be the Bronny James Invitational on the Lakers picking up Bronny James? We'll wait and see. But Memphis Grizzlies are on the clock at 39. So we'll see what happens with them. Again, they pick Zach Edey at number 9. So we will see what happens with that pick. At this point, we're getting closer and closer to the draft where they're all, a lot of these guys are going to be crapshoots, not making the league, reaches, projects, drafts and stash, so you don't have to pay them right away. We're going to be seeing a lot of that. Plus, as noted earlier, which again, Stone Hansen really was not happy with, is the fact that starting with the 35th pick, Spurs, you can safely assume that maybe the 35th pick agreed to a two-way deal, like Johnny Furphy. No, that was traded to the Pacers. So the 36, Juan Nunez, maybe he is draft and stash there. We'll see. Yeah, two-way deals already offered. Yeah, that's something. Anything that they can do. These teams are now in the second round. Anything these teams can do to save cash, I think, is really what it comes down to, because the salary cap implications, the second apron, really scaring a lot of teams. I know that that's really bothering a lot of teams out there, and that's the way that's affecting the way that they're looking at this draft. Memphis is picking up Jalen Wells at number 39. Jalen Wells is the number 39 pick for Memphis. So we will see what happens here as we continue on to pick number 40. So we'll see what happens with the continuation of the second round, number 39. So let me go ahead and I'll put Jalen Wells at number 39 for the Memphis Grizzlies. JSJ says, I'll be shocked if Bronny gets picked before 55. I would be shocked too, JSJ. I would be very surprised too if Bronny gets picked before then. But at this point in time, some of these guys are really long-term projects or guys that may not even end up in the league. So Pale Fox says Cam Christie is still out there. And Pale Fox says he can make the argument that he is better than Max. And Max was a second rounder. So we'll, and also here now is, of course, good man indeed. He is, of course, back behind the underscore legend 350 on. It is 350 legend 350. Great to have you here. Great to have you back, my friend. You wanted to go ahead and start off with Atlanta Hawks. Your Atlanta Hawks picked up, like you said, you talked about it during the show yesterday. How is the high coming off as far as Zachary Richer still at the number one pick? How do the Atlanta Hawks fans feel about Zachary Richer at number one?
Honestly, it's a little bit of a mix. I went on Facebook just to see a lot of my friends who are Hawks fans to see how everybody's reaction was. Some people are really happy. Some people kind of prefer to go with Star, but it's kind of like right in the middle. But a lot of people at least saying you can't go wrong with either or though. But I see a lot of people still wanting Star just a little bit more.
I hear you. So I know your Warriors are still out there. They do finally have a pick. They are now looking at maybe someone that can make their roster at this point in time with their salary cap implications. Are they looking at someone to make their roster? Are they looking just to do a two-way? Because we heard that these teams are really starting to look at two ways to save money. A lot of these trades that you're seeing now where teams are getting off these draft choices in the second round, it's all about saving money. What have been your observations so far of round two?
So far different what I've been watching and listening to while I was at work wise, I do see a lot of teams are really trying to move off a lot of these second round picks, trying to swap them out if it's something a little more for sure, and it's on to swap them out for future wise. I know the Warriors, I'm thinking they're gonna probably try to either go a two-way or try to move off of it to try to find somebody right now, since you want to still capitalize while Curry's still playing at a high level.
Because we still have this weekend starting off with players finalizing that they're going to get off the last year of their contracts or become free agents, or they're going to sign extensions. So we're going to see a little bit more of that. I mean, we've seen some of it already earlier today, with Jamal Murray now reportedly being offered a $200 million plus contract extension. We saw KCP get off the final year of his contract, and he will become a free agent. So that's going to be something very interesting to see. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see because these teams, they're kind of in it and they're kind of out of it on the second round because the cap gymnastics, because of what they're looking forward to doing here in just a few days in free agency.
Yeah, I think just with this draft being so weak and the second round usually don't, a lot of the guys in the second round don't usually make the team anywhere or end up being in the G League most of the time. So I know with this being a weak draft, I think a lot of teams may not be as concerned about it, but you might still try to see what is out there because there are times, but there's some gems in that second round.
And Stone Hansen is on Twitter right now saying just that Isaiah Crawford, his 13th, number 13th on his big board of his 75 top players is still available, and he's begging the Lakers to do what it takes to get him.
Oh
It's
man.
funny because yeah, he talked about him earlier today when he was on earlier today and talked about how that he wouldn't be surprised if Isaiah Crawford goes undrafted. But there are picks out there, but the looming, I don't know, like a dark cloud, or if you are a fan of Bronny, maybe a lighter cloud or rainbow per se. Bronny James is still out there. Do you anticipate him at all? Do you think there's any chance at all that he goes somewhere else than the Lakers at 55?
I keep thinking there's a possibility maybe if the Celtics want to be petty and try to use him as a ransom, be like, you want him, LeBron, you got to give up Austin Reeves or something if you want him. Or maybe Dallas. I know I heard Dallas' name was interested in him as well, but I think he's just gonna fall to the Lakers. I think it's a done deal.
Well, I might have to ask you to be on much more often because we'll lose Joe Soro if that's the case. Because he is swearing upon all swearing that he will stop watching Lakers basketball if that's the case. The Knicks are trading the 40th pick to the Suns, and the Suns are picking Oso Igodaro. Man, I'm trying hard with these names, but Oso Igodaro is at number 40. He has been picked up by the Phoenix Suns, which again, they have to be very careful. I do not know if they are actually trading. The Suns owner did go reportedly say yesterday that Kevin Durant is not available for trade. We'll see how far. Okay. I'm keeping one eye open on that one because I'm like,
Yeah, I'm
are you
hearing
sure?
some stuff.
Yeah, even the owner says Matt Ishbia says no, but he's also the guy that gets the bill. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
hmm,
It's the
hmm.
opposite of what Stephen A was saying this morning.
Yeah, so Devin Booker is also I personally, if I was Houston, I would go for Devin Booker. I'm sorry.
I would too.
Durant, okay, I called and I got a lot of flack, but I thought that at one time, very briefly, very briefly, Kevin Durant was the best player in the world when he outplayed LeBron in the finals. But that was a very brief moment in time. LeBron James obviously has played much better, not much better, but better for a longer period of time. Both guys have had brilliant careers, but they're both 35 years and beyond. And for me, I would not, if I'm Houston, I don't know where I go, even with the kind of talent I have. I don't know how far I would go with a 36-year-old superstar that would needs the ball quite a bit like that. I would really throw the book at Devin Booker. If Phoenix is trying to get off of anyone, and if I was Houston, I would really be interested in Devin Booker for that team. I think Devin
Yeah.
Booker would be a great fit in Houston.
Especially with him being younger than Kevin Durant too, and
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Durant is more injury prone. So I feel like that's something you got to factor in at his age.
Absolutely. So Oso Igodaro, he got chosen at 40 for the Phoenix Suns. He is a 6'10 power forward out of Marquette. Pretty good vision, court vision, averaged about 3 assists per game. Still needs to go ahead and improve his shooting and rebounding. For a guy that size, he should be able to rebound a little bit better than he does, but hopefully Phoenix can work things out. But is the Legend 350? Please follow the_Legend 350 on YouTube. So we'll see what happens here as we continue on. I like the fact that these draft choices come a little bit quicker than what we saw
Same.
last night. So the Knicks now have the 51 and 56 picks in this draft because they traded with Phoenix there. So I'm hoping with the 51 that they take Bronny. New York, you like Bronny. Bronny. All right, and here he is, Stone Hansen, @report_court on Twitter. Stone, great to have you back, my friend. Truly appreciate it. Along with the Legend 350, the guy who made Laker Tom sweat it out in our mock draft. I will always remember you for that, my friend, and truly appreciate you doing that. So, Stone Hansen is back. Stone, glad to have you here. Before we get into any particulars draft, one thing I want to note was something you commented on was that what you were hearing was that starting as high as number 35, 36, which ultimately became 36, San Antonio was reaching out and teams reaching out for these second round draft choices, more second round draft choices on two-way deals as opposed to guaranteed ones. You're seeing the cap gymnastics begin, and you said you're not happy with it.
Yeah, I just think that, I mean, this has gone on for a while, but for the past few drafts, been up to this degree, that high in the draft. I just think if a guy's getting his name called, he should be able to get a fully guaranteed contract. These sort of two-way contracts and getting them for as cheap as you possibly can. I don't know. If you're getting drafted, I feel like you've earned yourself a contract, and trying to play these little games to avoid having to pay them money is just kind of off-putting.
But it's a ramification of that the new tax aprons, especially the second apron. You can see these
I don't think
teams.
so.
Oh no,
Because no, because last year, the past like 2 3 years, teams have done this anywhere past like 45, because teams just don't view like these players as real picks, which is fine after pick 45 or so. But this year it's starting earlier because the draft is presumably much weaker. So teams just don't want to pay these guys guaranteed money, um, and I think it's just how it's been for a while.
Legend 350. So you've got your Golden State Warriors still on the clock. Looking like that they will probably have to make one of those choices upcoming. I think the Hawks, as do the Hawks still have anything left for the rest, or are they done for the day? I think they're done for the day,
They're
unless they
down for the day.
yeah, so they're done for the day. So it is your Warriors. What do you think your Warriors, if they have an availability to go after? I mean, obviously it's the best player available if they try to, or something that they project that can make it. But what do you think this offseason the Warriors need to improve for your team?
We need to get some rim protection. Like, that's to me one of the that should be number one.
Mhm.
That and figure out what you want to do with the Clay Thompson situation. But I know we need to get rim protection. That to me was what was so critical last season. That were really glaring and showing, especially when we played against your Lakers. When Anthony Davis or LeBron James going to the hole, it's just you might just move out the way. You might just go and get him a layup because there's nothing
How
better
do
to say.
you how do you value Clay Thompson? That's the thing. I mean, I understand his great contribution to your team. That's great and all, but this is a business,
Right.
and he obviously didn't leave with a good mark of being over 10 in that final game against Sacramento, and his skills have diminished, especially on the defensive end due to injury, tragic injuries, but injuries nonetheless. Where do you view I mean, where do you view Clay as a player at this point in time? What do you value him at as a dollar wise? What do you think they will? What do you think they should offer him in Golden State?
Me personally, I feel like he still it's something still there, but the days of being in the starting lineup, I think that is past and gone. I think at this point, you should look more of being maybe a six man or something off the bench. At this point, I think that'd be best suited for him wise, knowing you don't have to have that starting lineup pressure on you. I just feel like the days of what you saw in the early finals and all that's gone. I feel like at this point, he needs to take a pay cut and come off the bench. Be the best thing to do if you want to really help the team still win. I would really be disappointed in the Warriors if you go out here and pay a ridiculous amount, knowing that it's just not worth it at this point.
Philadelphia is at number 41, and they picked up UCLA's Adam Bona. I know that saddens Laker Tom as a fellow UCLA alum because he was hoping that he would fall to the Lakers, but he does not. And number 42, just wanted to let you know, Charlotte is picking up KJ Simpson. KJ Simpson is now a Charlotte player. He's going to be go ahead. Charlotte is picking him at number 42. So far, Isaiah Crawford, who is your highest pick left on your draft board, Stone, is still undrafted. And you and I are both. I just retweeted and gave a like to your tweet saying that you hope the Lakers do what they can to get Isaiah Crawford. Isaiah Crawford is falling down in the draft, but yet so many people like you see what he has to offer.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that I don't expect him to get drafted, if I'm being honest. I didn't really expect him to. I just think he's a really good player. And I would definitely prioritize him at 55. We're not going to. Sounds pretty much like it's locked in. We're going to take Bronny, but in undrafted free agency, I'm hoping that we try and do what we can to get him.
Bob Myers, according to JSJ, Bob Myers said on ESPN that Rich Paul, the rumor is calling teams and telling teams to not draft Bronny James. Wait a second here, JSJ. 2 weeks ago, Rich Paul said that these teams cannot give Bronny. He would not accept a two-way contract. Maybe that's part of the reason why he's telling him. I don't know. This is hurting my head, Legend 350 and Stone. This is hurting the way the demands that Rich Paul and Clutch have been making over the past couple weeks. Okay, Bronny, don't give him a two-way. Don't offer two-way. We don't want him to have on two-way. All right, we want this. We want that. We don't want this. We don't want. I don't get it, Legend 350.
The big distinction is that
hurting my head.
He's telling teams above pick 55, I think, is what JSJ is missing in the comment. He was saying that anybody that's above the Lakers pick, he's telling them don't pick him, or else he's going to go play in Australia and not come over to the NBA. So it sounds like he's going to be a Laker.
Yep, locking it in.
Honestly,
I don't really
care.
I just don't want him. I just don't want him to be force-fed minutes over players that deserve it more.
Exactly.
Gar says, Gerald, if Bronny joins the Lakers, you should do a Bronny jersey giveaway. If you buy the jersey, Darth, and you mail it over to me, how about that? But once again, it is the Lakers.
No more Joe.
Yeah,
a new era for Lakers fast break.
I'll nag him to death, so he'll probably come back on. I'll just nag him. He'll probably have to change his phone number. Joe, the audience misses you yet again. Please come back. They love you. So come on. So many people have a man crush on you. Please come back to the Lakers fast break.
Between the Celtics winning and the Lakers drafting Bronny, this might be like the worst year of Josora's life.
Yes, it very well could be. Charlotte again is picking up KJ Simpson, number 42. Up next is the Miami Heat. Heat culture. Come on, Heat. You can do it. Bronny. Come on, right there. South Beach. Great place to go. Well, I'll tell you right now, though, Legend, again, it is great to have you and Stone Hansen here. So, Atlanta, they've got a lot of things that they have to do. They just gave away A.J. Griffin. Tell me about that. For the 44th pick in the draft, Stone commented on it already on Twitter. I thought that's hard for me to believe. What went so wrong with A.J. Griffin?
Yeah, I was kind of baffled when I saw that. Like, why would you give that up for a 42nd pick? But I mean, I know he was injured a lot this past season, but I'm not for sure they just decided to give up on him. But it's kind of questionable. I was like, I'm not sure what you're going to get out of a 42nd pick that's going to help us right now. But okay.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of locker room issues with him from what I have been told.
Really?
Yeah. So he wasn't fitting in there and they wanted to get rid of him.
And so send him to a place where he's really going to get buried under in Houston. Yeah, but the last thing they need is a shooting wing.
It was locker room issues in a way you wouldn't expect. It's not the typical bad attitude, bad work ethic is what I'll say.
So, yeah, it is the 44th pick, reportedly traded to the Hawks for A.J. Griffin. That would just surprise me because I saw that this morning on Twitter. I was like, wow. There's
a lot of surprising. I'm not sure. Did you guys see the Kyle Filipowski stuff going on?
No, you mentioned. I saw your tweet real quick on that. As far as can you go into that because Filipowski did go 31 to Utah.
So essentially, he dropped. He wasn't supposed to go that far, but a lot of stuff started blowing up because he has a girlfriend that he has had apparently for a long time, and she is way older than he is, and teams were worried that she was like grooming him, and his parents and his brother did not attend the draft because they no longer speak to him because of this, and they she's apparently this is public, by the way, so I'm not sharing stuff that's private anymore. um but his family is even tweeting it on Twitter. That's why I'm sharing it. But his family's tweeting that she is trying to convert him to Mormonism and has been grooming him since he was like in high school. And now he's in the Utah Jazz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What a better place to go.
Yeah. She went to his prom when she was 26 and into his high school prom. So there's a lot of one of the most interesting things I've ever seen in the NBA draft storyline.
Yeah, exactly. If that's the reason why you didn't pick him up and he becomes a good player, that's just ridiculous.
I don't he's the victim in that circumstance, so I'm not quite sure why.
Is this like a Doug Christie situation where everybody was like, with Doug Christie's wife, I guess was really, really, prominent in his life and it just said sometimes was a hindrance if you talk to the different people on that. I guess that's what I could equate it to off the top of my head. So
it's very odd. Never seen that.
Never seen that.
The Heat select a Jurisic, which is a really solid pick.
And trading him to you, Legend 350, trading him to Atlanta. So
yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I like him better than Topic, who most people prefer.
I'll take him.
Jurisic is going. Miami picked him, but is trading him to Atlanta. So Nikola Jurisic at number 43 is being traded to Atlanta.
He played previously with Jovic, who they took a couple of years ago. They used to be teammates. So
and Miami moves one slot back. See, let me ask you this. This is the second trade that has been done today where a team just moves back one spot for cash considerations. Why are they moving up? Why do these trades take place? The ones where they're just moving up one spot for cash considerations.
Well, why are the teams moving up or the teams moving down?
Why are these trades being made? For
the ones moving down are getting extra cash and they know they can get their guy. The ones that are moving up are doing it because they just really believe in their guy and they want to make sure that nobody else has a chance to get them. So they're just, and the cash is not coming out of any sort of cap space or anything. This is owner money that they're playing with. So it's not like it's hurting any sort of cap implications. They just really like a guy and they want to ensure that they get him, and the other team will say, okay, we're still getting our guy, but we'll take the cash that comes along with that.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Legend 350 from the _Legend 350 out there on YouTube, and Stone Hansen at @report_court on Twitter. Please also follow him at the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. Joe is in the chat. Joe Soro is in the chat, waiting in great anticipation on his future here with the Lakers Fast Break. Although, again, I will try to nag him to death to see if he can stay on with us. But I will say, though, that I am very nervous just because of the fact I don't believe Bronny as an NBA player. I just don't. I'm sorry. I've not seen anything that makes me say that he is going to be an effective player at the next level. If his name was any other random name, Stone Hansen, if his name, it's still, Stone Hansen would say that, he doesn't project to be an NBA player. So that's why I think for me, this is really hard. It's because it just says, it speaks volumes on why they're doing it. And that to me troubles me, Legend 350. I'll bring it back to you. You're an observer. I love the fact that we bring someone that's outside of the Lakers fandom into this to observe on this. When you see this happening, this type of nepotism, and Stone said it earlier, if this is the only nepotism you're worried about, inside El Segundo in the Lakers facility, you've got a lot of issues to deal with because there are a lot of nepotism that goes on there. But I want to ask you this: when it comes up to this whole Bronny James situation, I mean, it just seems very troubling that a team might be going this far just to make one other player happy.
It's like when I look at the whole situation, especially from the outside, I understand that LeBron want to play with his son. I get that part. Hey, probably every father's dream to be able to play sport with their son. But at the same time, I don't want to sabotage my team's success to make that happen. And it just looks odd to me, as well as you're putting a target on the kid's back. It's almost like the Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball situation. As soon as he touched the floor, every person that on that other team is going to attack going at him every time. They're going to come at Bronny every time. Just because of everyone's going to say it. You're only here because of daddy. That's it. Because, Gerald, I'm just like you. Personally, I don't think he's ready for the NBA. It's just me. I haven't seen enough. The numbers on screen. He should have went back to college, me personally. But
Sean Harder's. I agree with you. I think he would have had a great chance at USC. If he stayed at USC, he would have been the starting shooting guard for a brand new coach who would have designed an offense around him. But again, not to be the case. Stone, you ranked him at 52, or your final board has him at 52. Is he really to you the 52nd best player in this draft? Because Sean Harder says I'm in denial, who's trying to paint this picture because he is Sean Harder is a big LeBron fan. More power to you because of that. But he is also saying that I'm in denial. I'm not in denial. I see things for what they really are, and I do not see LeBron as an NBA player. But you have him number 52. Again, we talked about this earlier today, and we've talked about this before. Explain why you have him there.
Yeah, I mean, I have really only in this class like 34 players that I think are actually draftable caliber players. So, even if it's not Bronny, most of the other picks around there, I don't believe in probably any more than I do Bronny, because I don't really believe any of them to be NBA players. They're all more summer league invite caliber type players. But because this draft is so weak, numerically he falls into my 52nd spot. Again, if we take him at 55, I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal to me because most of the other players around there are not NBA level players. But I would much rather take somebody like Isaiah Crawford. Again, we might still get him in undrafted free agency, which is fine. But I don't mind. It's not the end of the world if we take Bronny here. I just don't want it to be at the expense of giving minutes to him when other players are better. That's really what it comes down to for me. If he's sitting on the bench, doing nothing, going into the G League, fine, whatever. I just don't want it to come at the expense of players that are better than him this season. I think there's worse players in this draft for sure than Bronny. He's not the worst player that I watched this cycle, but he's also not somebody that I really believe in as an NBA player long term either.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is our live coverage of the second round of the NBA draft. The Legend 350 is here. Also, as well, of course, Stone Hansen. Please go ahead and follow _Legend 350 on YouTube, and also as well, Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast and Report_Court on Twitter. Jamal Sheed, who's been a favorite for many because of the fact he was a really good, solid point guard at Houston. He was just picked up by Toronto at 45. Do you have any thoughts, Legend, on Jamal Sheed, point guard out of Houston at number 45? Again, I heard his name mentioned quite a bit last night as someone to look out for in the second round.
Not a bad pickup for Toronto. I mean, they're bending toward the future, so it's not a bad pickup. Always having another good backup to come off the bench.
Pale, I agree with you. And I know we disagree on a lot. I do not think he's worth the roster spot, but what are you going to do? I just think it also puts extra pressure on the kid if you put him on the same team as LeBron. But again,
ball situation.
We're going to find that out in 10 picks. But your thoughts on Jamal Sheed, Stone? He is small, 6-footer, but if he does fix his jump shot or does get that to a point where it's effective, really good distributor and could be someone that can stay in the league, possibly as a backup point guard. You're on mute.
I actually think Bronny is someone I have ranked over him.
Wow.
He's so small. He's like 5'10". I don't think he's going to have the same playmaking opportunities he did in Houston because he struggles with length. He can't shoot. And offensively, I just don't see what he does at an NBA level. Defensively is really where he makes the case for it because I think he's really strong and great havoc creator at the point of attack. But he's a defensive specialist. He's not big enough to be able to move to the wings. Somebody like Kevin McCullough Jr., Ryan Dunn, who are also pretty much only defensive players. They're big enough to be able to move to wings and guards. And in Ryan's Dunn case, like forwards and smaller centers. Shed is limited to just guards, point guards usually. And if I'm aiming for a defensive specialist, I'd rather get someone that can guard, at a higher degree of different positions. So I don't really like him. He's also older. He's like 22, going to be 23. So not a ton of, the shooting hasn't been there in 4 years. So I don't expect it to come around. Not somebody I love, but at this stage in the pick, you kind of just go with your flavor of the week.
Cam Christie just got picked up by the Clippers at 46, which means Legend 350 that LA now has 2 Christies, one for the Clippers and one for the Lakers. We'll see if the Lakers retain their Christie because they do have an option to go ahead and I think $2.5 million or thereabout as far as tender. Yeah, tender for him to be a restricted free agent. So we'll see if that's something they want to go ahead and do. But yes, Cam Christie out of Minnesota, 6'5" guard, looks to be headed his way to the Clippers to play in the new Toilet Bowl, aka Intuit Dome. But because they're so proud of their toilets there now and their brand new arena coming up there. So we'll see what happens with the Clippers. But yes, we are almost to the 55th pick for the Lakers. We're getting down. We're less than 10 picks away from our future. Joe is, I guess, somewhere sweating up a storm somewhere up in Northern California because he's on business there. So we'll see. Me first says I would guess Bronny is a lot tougher than Lonzo, who was too timid.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. Yeah, because he had 9 more picks. I think he will be there. So we'll see what happens. But again, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us for the second round. We're almost done, over halfway done with the second round. Let me ask you this. Davion Mitchell, AJ Griffin, some of these guys that were traded before the draft today for some of these choices, these are recent draft picks that were given up by their original teams. So your thoughts, Stone, I'm going to start with you first. Your thoughts on that as far as some of these players that you've seen in early action today. Some of these teams are really giving up on some of these players that I think still might have a future somewhere else.
Yeah, I think with AJ Griffin, it was unique in that there's things behind closed doors that we don't see, and they couldn't get him out of there fast enough due to off-court things. Not that, to be clear, this is not like maligning him in terms of any sort of legal stuff or his character, but there's personality conflicts more so than anything, from what I have heard. And then at the the Kings, they took obviously Devin Carter, who I think's better than anybody they traded today. Davion Mitchell to me is not really an NBA player. I would have waived him if I'm Toronto. I don't think he really has a future in the NBA, maybe overseas. But this is, trying to create more playing time for Devin Carter, who is easily a better player and prospect for them moving forward. So I think there's different circumstances, different reasons teams have. For me, like with AJ, I find it difficult to believe nobody could have upped the asking price of the 44th overall pick for him. But it is what it is. I'm sure teams try what they can to maximize value.
Legend 350, again, we've seen a lot of players like that today given up on by the original teams, moved on. I don't know where AJ Griffin fits in Houston. I really think he's going from one bad situation to a worse situation. Like Stone says, if that's the case, and intimated that maybe his locker room demeanor maybe was the cause for that. But yeah, I don't see him really panning out in Houston because they've got a ton of players like him that need the ball. So I really don't know where it's going to fit there. But Davion Mitchell's a guy that I think Sacramento really had some high hopes for, but they've just jettisoned him to Toronto. Your thoughts on Davion Mitchell could play some key minutes for them as a backup in Toronto?
I mean, it'll be a really good pickup for them, especially when they're rebuilding. I think it'll really be a valuable situation, and it's a good situation where you can learn as well, not having that pressure of got to win now mode since they're rebuilding. I think that's a good place to go to and go through your learning growths.
Pelicans are taking Antonio Reeves at number 47. That's Antonio Reeves at number 47. Isaiah Crawford, again, like you said, you're anticipating, Stone, that he is not going to be picked up, but just the value there, because you're not the only one to talk about Isaiah Crawford. Please, let's go in one more time again, why Isaiah Crawford is so high up on your draft board and why you think many of these teams are possibly making a mistake and not drafting him.
That's a bad pick by the Pelicans. I like Crawford because I think he affects winning. He's had some of the highest steal and block percentages this year in college basketball. He is a really solid shooter, generates tons of power from his legs as a driver, really insane core contortion and torque around the rim. So he's flexible and able to finish in a variety of ways. He's really worked on a lot of his hip strength so that he can move directionally in multiple ways. I think that he just affects the game in a lot of different ways. I know a lot of other people that I talked to had him as a first-round caliber talent. And I think that he's someone worth, giving that chance to. I'm not saying he will be that because obviously I've missed in the past and I don't plan to, but I expect to in the future. But he's someone I just really believe in to affect winning basketball, and I would like to take a player like that if we have the opportunity.
Fair enough. Once again, it is the Lakers fast break. It is the second round of the NBA draft. Legend 350, _Legend 350 on YouTube, and also as well Stone Hansen. Report_court on Twitter. He has been tweeting like a madman during this draft period. Please go ahead and check him out because he's been a lot of good tweets as well. I think, like I said, I saw your Filipowski one real quickly, but I had to see because I'm hosting the show. I couldn't really focus in on that.
I deleted it too. I didn't. I'll let other people find it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So yeah, I was like, I saw it like, woo, but I can't look at it too long because I did the chat. So yeah, the Filipowski interest there. So man, that's a rough deal. That's a new way. There are new reasons each and every year why players fall in the draft, and this is definitely a new one for me. So
there's, especially in the second round, it happens in the first round too, but especially in the second round, there's a lot of picks that are made beyond just on-court things. There's a lot of agency and agents that are, doing things, pulling different strings. Players have different things that you don't hear about come up in the pre-draft process. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors that affects where a player goes beyond what they bring on the court.
Gerald, I'm going to have to get ready to step out. I got an emergency I got to get to.
No worries, Legend. Thank you for stopping by. You're the best, man. I'll see you soon.
So I appreciate it. Nice seeing you again, Stone.
Yeah, good to see you.
It is the Legend 350. Please support him today. The Legend 350 on YouTube. Truly appreciated him joining us and taking the time to go ahead and stop on by. Wishing him all the best, and hopefully he'll come back to join us soon. I'll need all the help I can get with Joe Soro leaving us here in about 7 picks. I'm hoping Joe will change his mind and not be so stubborn about this, but I know Joe, and again, it'll be a sad day if that's the case. But yeah, we get closer and closer to the Lakers pick at 55. I'm beginning to think that with the, we've always seen this in previous drafts where late in the draft you're talking about taking projects, taking draft and stashes to save money, taking, like you said, two-way deals to save money. This is all about risks and potential and projects, and basically in some cases they just draft just to know that this guy will never make the league. In some cases they do that. So I'm thinking that Bronny falls into this list of just this back end of the second round craziness. Your thoughts, my friend, when it gets this late in the draft? These teams are just willing to go ahead and do whatever they need to do at this point in time. How many of them are really serious about exactly getting a player that can actually stick on their team?
I don't know the amount, and it varies year to year because obviously drafts are stronger and weaker. So there's variances in that, but yeah, I mean, I think Bronny's a better prospect than Antonio Reeves that just got taken. But at the end of the day, when you're picking in the late 40s, the 50s, the expectation for most teams is that you're not going to have an NBA player. And it's just how it is. But yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. Again, we are at pick 48 right now, which at this present time belongs to the San Antonio Spurs. Then the Pacers, Sports Baby's team, has got 2 picks back to back. As of now, mind you, they can be changing all this stuff all the time. San Antonio just selected Harrison Ingram. Harrison Ingram is now a San Antonio Spurs. He has not been traded anywhere, nor do I see that listed. So I'm just assuming
he's a very Spurs player. He'll stay a Spur, I think.
There you go. Harrison Ingram, San Antonio Spur. Why do you say that per se? Let me ask you this. Why do you think Harrison Ingram out of North Carolina, 6'6" guard or small forward, is that type of player?
Because he just doesn't make mistakes with the ball. That's the biggest thing.
Good rebounder for his size.
Yeah, he's very strong. He's one of the worst athletes in this class, but he is really just smart. I think
Kyle Anderson, could you say?
Not slow necessarily. He is slow, but not to that degree. But he can't jump at all, and so I don't think he's going to be able to keep up defensively a lot. I had him ranked lower on my board, I think, but not by much. He's just a very Spursy player because he's not going to make a lot of mistakes. I know a lot of people are asking why Isaiah Crawford is falling. There's 2 reasons. One of them is that he's old. He's a 5th-year senior, and because he had a red shirt because he's had a ACL injury. He's had, I think, 2 ACL injuries during his collegiate career, and he's 23. But the other reason is people should not think that NBA teams are infallible. They make a lot of mistakes. They're not as smart as some people give them credit for. They are not way beyond the intellect of the common person who watches a lot of basketball. I think that people have this misconception that if you're a scout for an NBA team, that means that you are immediately like infallible at making bad draft picks, and you know more than everybody, and that is just not the case. That's not to discredit people who are NBA scouts, because I know a handful, and they're all super nice people that are super smart, but I just wouldn't immediately say that every single person. There's a reason that a lot of scouts only last for 1 or 2 years, because your job is based on results, and there's very up and down results for a lot of people, and it's not because they're way beyond the scouting level of people. So I just would hesitate to say that they don't make mistakes as NBA teams.
I will say this though, and it comes to me possibly ending the stream. No, I will not end the stream if the Lakers draft Bronny James. I said that yesterday. I will get off the stream, but yeah, I'm not going to do that today. It's so close to the end of the draft. Why would I? I want to complete it all out. I want to ask you this. You mentioned earlier that you thought it was a horrible draft pick, or a really bad draft pick, I should say, for Antonio Reeves, fifth-year senior out of Kentucky. He did shoot well beyond the arc, but athletically and defensively, I know there's issues there. Your thoughts on why that was such a bad draft choice for Antonio Reeves?
Yeah, and look, it's a bad draft choice. It's this late in the draft. It's probably not that bad, in all honesty, because we're so late in this. But I just personally don't think he's a very good player. He's a good shooter. That's about it. I think pretty much everywhere else on the court he's bad. But again, you're drafting this late. It's everyone has different perspectives. I'm not the only perspective, so obviously don't listen to only what I have to say. But everyone views players differently, and I guess they view his shooting as pretty valuable. So that's good for them. I don't think he's a good pick, but you're probably not going to make odds are you're not going to make a good pick in the second round.
Denver is trading Reggie Jackson, backup point guard on Denver. Did win a title with them. It's trading Reggie Jackson to Charlotte with three unprotected second, or with
this is right. Very clearly to bring back KCP because he just opted out earlier today.
Yeah,
they want to clear money to make an offer for him.
There you go. And also free up money because they're offered a $200 million extension to Jamal Murray as well.
So they're going to be up there, and any team that wants to contend is going to have to pay an insane amount in taxes.
Absolutely. So Reggie Jackson has been traded to Charlotte with 3 unprotected second-round picks. So didn't say for what, but Indiana, sports baby, Tristan Newton is number 49. So Tristan Newton is the latest Pacer sports baby. I know that they're your favorite team, so I wanted to go ahead and get that in there. They got Tristan Newton in 49, and they, as of now, they have number 50 as well. Sean Harder says good. Where's it? Get mad every time Journeyman Jackson makes a 3 against the Lakers. Well, he'll be making it as a member of the Charlotte Hornets unless they buy out his contract. So we will see what happens there. He's been waived before, so we'll see if he becomes a journeyman once again for a team. Yes, but Tristan Newton, any thoughts on Tristan Newton going to Indiana with the second of its 3 picks? I'm very surprised that they kept 2 of their 3 picks so far.
Yeah, there's not a lot of stash options this year, honestly, so it's difficult for teams that have a lot of them to find stash options this year, which is usually what you would see with teams that have multiple second-round picks. Newton's fine. I think he's a good on-ball shooter, off-the-dribble shooter. I think that he tries hard defensively. I don't think he has a lot of successful results on that end, but he definitely has a motor and a will to be good there. And he's a decent passer. He has a decent shot to be a backup. I don't love him, but when you're this late, you're sort of picking who you believe in the most, or because you're doing favors for some sort of agent or agency. That's what it comes down to. So, I mean, I don't think he's going to get much playing time in Indiana with who they already have, though.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Denver is trading Reggie Jackson to Charlotte along with 3 unprotected second-round picks. I don't know what Charlotte is giving back to Denver. So we'll see what happens with that as far as I'm concerned. Jackson is on an expiring $5 million contract. Bobby Marks says Denver is right at the $171 million tax threshold with the trade and KCP declining his option. So yes, that's something to look at. And they're $19 million below the second apron. Funny, KCP just declined a $15 million option. So yeah, absolutely. Darth, 6 more picks before the Lakers pick at number 55, because we're at number 50. Actually, 5 more picks, I should say. 50. It is now number 50, and it is Indiana once again. So we'll see what happens with their third pick of the second round. So yes, 55. Xbox that says I'm shardy. People are nervous now, my friend. People are really nervous.
You should have been much more nervous for last night, though. That's where you really have. If you're missing on a 17th pick, that's a lot more impactful than missing on your 55th pick. And that's where I was sweating. I was freaking out that we'd take a bum.
Well, we'll see what happens, my friend. But KCP, watch out to see if he gets a kind of offer like in the first year, like a poison pill offer, like Bruce Brown. Because remember, last year Bruce Brown got that poison pill or really skyrocketed first year as far as the value on that. Oh, it was only a 2-year deal, but he didn't opt for a longer deal, which would have been lower cost. It was higher. So look out for KCP getting offers in free agency that might price him out of Denver. Just something I might see, because they did it with Bruce Brown and Denver blinked and let him go. So we'll see what happens with KCP, how much they value him. But he did opt out of his $15 million salary. And of course, also as well, they've offered reportedly a $209 million extension, I believe, to Jamal Murray as well. So we're getting down to the final picks of the NBA draft. The last 10 picks are here, including the Los Angeles Lakers at 55. Darth says, Gerald, tell Joe if he leaves, he will break all of our hearts. Do you think that actually bothers Joe in the slightest? Do you actually think he actually cares? This is Joe. My goodness. Haven't you learned how heartless he is in the first place? My goodness. Yeah, I know you're here, Joe. Yes. You know where you break some hearts, but Joe, you've broken a lot of hearts before. I think you like crushing them every now and then. So, our Bruin says, "Oh God, here we go." People are nervous now, Stone. I think people. We're now at the highest point of the entire draft. It's now as far as the number of people in our chat, the number of people in our audience is now at the highest. Funny how that is, Stone. Funny how that is the anticipation on whether or not we get Bronny James. Just imagine the interest now. It's funny, isn't it, that we're at 80 people strong. Please like and subscribe while you're here, by the way, while you still have a chance before Bronny James gets drafted. Now we're up to 90. Amazing, Stone. Why that interest is. It's just amazing. In the past 5 minutes, we've gone up over half of double the audience on this, Stone.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be too surprised. I don't think it's not a if, it's a matter of when. He'll be a Laker, but I'm more interested to see what happens after an undrafted free agency.
Isaiah Crawford absolutely would probably be a great choice if the Lakers did get him as a pickup. I know that would make you really happy. Oderphil, great to have you here. Go forward as far as let's go Lakers. Absolutely. He says, do you think the Lakers should move up in the draft? Well, at this point, no, not really, because they are 5 spots away from where they're drafting anyways. We're at number 50. So the draft is almost over. So at this point, I think that the Lakers should have moved up. I think they should have gone after Kyle Filipowski, especially the fact that some of these trades, these teams are willing to get off these second round picks for nothing, seemingly so far from what I'm seeing. So I would have gone after Filipowski. That's just me. I know Stone was okay on Filipowski. I understand now the drama after he said.
There's more coming out since we've been on air.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Apparently his girlfriend was also his babysitter when he was a child. And she was like a good bit older. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's pretty odd situation. I've never seen something quite like this. His family is all over Twitter right now saying that she is evil and has forced him to cut them out of his life. And they she sent an email to all of his family as a goodbye little a official goodbye letter that Kyle Filipowski won't be contacting them anymore. So
Wow.
there's a whole lot of stuff going on there.
Wow, drama. I did not know all this drama was taking place over Kyle Filipowski. Wow, that's amazing. So maybe it's a good thing the Lakers said, we're good. We're going to just draft Bronny James at 55 and we'll
I would
see.
have
But again,
liked Jonathan Mogba quite a bit too, though. He was the first pick in the second
yes.
round, but
What do you think about Jonathan Mogul?
I like him. There's people that have him even higher than I do. I think I have him 22. He's a very good on-ball defender and a very scheme switchable guy. Very quick off the ground as a leaper, super long arms, really good passer. He can't shoot, which limits some of the access to passes. But the big thing with him is he's a 6'7" center essentially, which obviously is very undersized. But he has a 7'5" wingspan, so he's pretty long. I like him as a second round bet. I would have definitely been interested, but the guys that are the first 5 or 6 players taken in the second round are usually not going to be up for grabs very easily. Those teams are targeting players that are dropping in their opinion.
Absolutely. Once again, it is Stone Hansen. You got to go ahead and follow him at report_court on Twitter and also as well the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. It is me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks so much again. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. We'd love to have you here. We're on over 300 days a year talking the Lakers and the NBA. The Legend 350 at _Legend 350 was just here talking about the NBA as well. Please support him if you can on his YouTube channel. We're at pick number 50. We're 5 spots away from what we all feel is, I feel like Thanos. It is inevitable that the Lakers will pick Bronny James. I will not be happy with it. I don't think he's a player in the NBA. I don't think he'll be able to become a effective player in the NBA, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong because it's looking more and more like the Lakers will select him. I think that puts more pressure on him. I really think that puts more pressure on him with dad right there. And I was joking earlier about the take your son to work day and all that stuff. And you're going to hear all those jokes like take your son to work and hey dad, all that. And now he's going to be the rookie being hazed and all that stuff instead. And now it's going to be dad hazing the rookie as far as it's concerned, all that stuff. So all that joking aside, I just think for his development, it would probably be better if he was not drafted by the Lakers personally for his development, for any chance he can make the league at all.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Honestly, I think that's the case for pretty much every NBA player is going to the Lakers. You're just going to be way more heavily scrutinized than any other team. That's probably goes double for Bronny in this unique circumstance. But I think enough people have the perception that he's not a very good player and are not going to be not going to be disappointed when he doesn't live up to, being an NBA rotation player. But 100% people are going to take every opportunity they can to, remind people how bad he is.
I just found out some major breaking news, Stone Hansen. Shams Charania, who's the major breaker. Maybe it was Adrian Wojnarowski behind it, but Shams Charania just reported his account keeps getting locked. So,
Uh-oh. Whatever will we do?
Exactly. Me first with the 199 super chat. Thank you so much for doing so. Your generosity is greatly appreciated here. A great show. Bring back KCP. That's not a half bad suggestion right there.
We could afford him.
Yeah. Because, he opted out of a $15.5 million salary for his final year in his contract. might be a risk we're taking if you could sign him on a good contract, but we'll see. But I know Denver's going to be looking to go ahead and try and pay him as well.
Oh yeah, he's gonna make 20+ million for 4 years or so, and the Lakers just don't have the money to match it.
Arjo on Facebook, shout out to all of our Facebook viewers saying, let's go Bronny. I don't really want Bronny on the team, but it looks more and more like Bronny will be on the team. So we're at number 50. There's 5 picks left before we get to, 4 picks left before we get to the Lakers at number 55. Unfortunately, Shams Charania, his account gets locked, keep getting locked. So we're going to have to wait for Adrian Wojnarowski to go ahead and probably tweet this out. I think Adrian Wojnarowski might be behind this as far as Shams Charania. Remember, they used to be better. They used to work
can't
together.
tweet. Yeah, they hate each other now, apparently.
Yeah.
Woj can't tweet, though, because he's on the live show right now. But it looks like they're on pick 52.
I'm going to go ahead. I'll catch everybody up.
Yeah, I don't know who the other player's taken, but this is pick 52 that was traded earlier to Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City acquired it and had tried to move up in this draft. They had pick 50 after they got pick 52 earlier today. They were looking to try and move up, but I think the player that they were wanting is no longer there.
Catching everybody up, like I said, like Stone said, and I said, Pacers have drafted Enrique Freeman out of Akron. That is the number 50 pick. So, Sports Baby, you got Tristan Newton, Enrique Freeman, and also Juan Nunez. Juan Nunez, that Pacers pick was traded to the Spurs. So,
you said De Silva went to the Magic, I believe.
Yeah, De Silva went to the Magic, but said Juan Nunez.
He's a Spur.
Yeah, he's a Spur. He was traded by the Pacers.
They got Johnny Furphy, though.
Yes, Johnny Furphy, because they swapped. That was what I talked to you about earlier about how they moved down one spot. So they got Johnny Furphy, they got Tristan Newton and Enrique Freeman. Number 51, right there. That was traded to the Knicks. Trying to go ahead and update this as fast as I can. Again, Shams Charania, his Twitter went down, so we were getting minute by minute updates going on right now. Looks like his account keeps getting locked, but we're going to go ahead and try and update you as best we can on what's going on. 51. Who did you say was picked at 51? Stone?
I did not see that. I was talking.
Okay.
But I know Quentin Post just got picked.
That might have been 51.
52 he was picked. Yeah.
Okay. Melvin Ajinka from San Quentin Basketball. Yeah. Ajinka, yes. The Knicks. The Knicks got Melvin Ajinka.
He'll be stashed. So they took 2 French players with Pacom Darrier and Melvin Ajinka. Darrier played in Germany last year. He wants to come over, from what I know. So they'll probably bring him over. If I don't know how strong the Knicks want him over. So Ajinka will be a stash for sure. He'll go back to France. And Darrier played in Germany last year, but France is a much better league. So if they do stash Darrier, I would imagine it would be in France.
So they're looking to probably stash him as well. Is that correct?
I don't know with Darrier. Ajinka, they would stash. Yeah. I'd be very surprised if he was not stashed.
Okay. This pick was the Warriors. Now it's the Thunder, then to the Blazers. So now I think it's the Portland Trail Blazers at number 52. Right now, I think you just called it earlier that we had it. Sorry for the updating, everyone. Once Shams Charania's Twitter went down, we're all you know what is broken loose. So in fact, that the most
was the
Quentin Post, you said?
Yeah.
At number 52, I believe it's for the Portland Trail Blazers. That's the last team I think that has possession of that pick. Quentin Post.
I've
he
lost
is
track.
The pick so
yeah,
that's the problem because everyone's lost track because if you're not watching the live feed, Shams Charania was reporting on it, but his account keeps getting locked, so he is not able to go ahead and step in there with the correct picks at this point in time. And the actual NBA does not update its picks as fast as what we're seeing online. So should be closing in on the 54th and 55th pick right now. The Celtics, then the Lakers. We'll see. It's going to be very important for these teams to go ahead and decide what they want to do. But Bronny James is in the mix right there. I know that we're getting our highest amount of viewership of the day right here. It's no surprise. A lot of people are anticipating Bronny James. I think they're just looking at the name when they want Bronny James on the Lakers. I don't think you guys are really just evaluating the talent per se. But again, if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. But you don't get Joe Soro out of it. So that's what I'm worried about right now is losing Joe Soro for Bronny James. Yep. So
I think
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would prefer Boogie Ellis, the other USC guard, over Bronny, but we're not going to get him.
Yeah, absolutely. Boogie Ellis has been all over the place on the back end of the second round. I kind of liked what he had to offer, but he is, I know, an older player, and that's these teams try to stay away from older players. Although the Lakers did get Dalton Connect, who is an older player, so I'd like to see Boogie Ellis get a chance. He'll probably go undrafted at this point, but we'll see.
Seems like definitely a overseas player to me, a really good overseas player. But I would give him an NBA opportunity on the two-way, but I don't think. I think he'll probably find his way to overseas sooner rather than later.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is the coverage of the second round of the NBA draft.
Cam Spencer taken.
Cam Spencer was taken by, was that the Blazers or was
Celtics.
That by the Celtics? So we have it now. We're at number 55 right now at our highest point in the day. You can tell the excitement because we're getting a lot of people joining us. Absolutely. Cam Spencer was the 53rd pick, Xbox says. Was he 53rd or 54th? Again, I'm not getting the updates anymore right now because unfortunately Shams is down right now. So
we're on pick 50. Oops.
54 or 55? Where are we at the Celtics or are we at the Lakers?
54. I thought they took Cam Spencer, but
no, it's Cam Spencer was 53.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that's the Pistons.
Gotcha. I just assumed it was a white shooter, so I thought the Celtics would take him.
No worries. And again, the NBA is not updating its own site very quickly either, which is they're still stuck at 51 to give you an idea. So trying to get this off as far as best we can for you. I do apologize for the inconvenience on that. Sham's Twitter went down. I don't know why, but yeah, Minnesota is trading the number 53 to Memphis. Memphis is now targeting Cam Spencer. Now we got that. Okay. Adrian Wojnarowski is leaping into this now. Yeah, so Joe, shut up. Anyways, you're about ready to get pissed off here in 2 picks. So Minnesota now has the number 57 pick, just to let everyone know out there. So yes, we are at the number 54 pick. It is Boston, and we were talking about if Boston would be trolling the Lakers by getting Bronny James. I think it would actually be a good move for the Lakers if that happens, but that would be just me. But yes, Adrian Wojnarowski has got 53. Just UConn's Cam Spencer heading to Memphis. So we're seeing now, watching the coverage right now as best I can on Stadium and watching their feed right now.
This is actually a move I think that has some sort of meaning to a degree, because obviously Luke Kennard is a big salary for them that they are crunched with money-wise with all these extensions. And they took Jalen Wells at 36, I believe, earlier today. And then they moved up because they obviously wanted a shooter. Cam Spencer, probably the best shooter remaining. And they wanted to make sure that they got more shooting. They moved 4 spots to do it. So this, I think this might be some sort of, just keep your eye on the future of Luke Kennard, because they're obviously targeting shooters, and they went out of their way to bring in Cam Spencer this late in the draft.
So I'm keeping it best we can. Let me go ahead and just run by again. 51 for the Knicks is Melvin Ajinça. 52 is Quentin Post for the Thunder. 53 is Cam Spencer for the Grizzlies. So we're checking it out and keeping an eye on it for you. Again, Sham
There it
Sharad
is.
There it is. The
Lakers
Lakers
are
are drafting, according to Chris Haynes, Bronny James. Joe, Bronny James, according to Chris Haynes, is going to be the next Los Angeles Laker. And
coming in from a lot of people now. Yep.
Yeah.
It's over. There it is.
It's over.
Now we shift to undrafted free agency. That's what matters more.
Again, something we've been predicting, or I've been predicting for a long time, has come to fruition. Very, very unfortunate. Laker Nick is here. Laker Nick, any thoughts on Bronny James becoming the newest Los Angeles Laker?
Yeah, Stone and Gerald, I had to jump on and make sure that I was hearing correctly. Is that true?
That is true, my friend.
The power and the pull of LeBron James at this point of his career doesn't cease to amaze me. It's just, I don't know, it's remarkable to say the least. I thought that this was a far-fetched idea that the Lakers were going to do this, but then this happened. So it is what it is, Stone. I'm not sure what to think.
I don't really care that much. It is what it is. It's pick 55. You're not completely. If we drafted at 17, I'd be very mad. I'd be as mad as most of the people seem to be in this chat right now. At pick 55, I don't care that much. It's not that big a deal.
For everyone out there like Arho on Facebook, and thank you so much for watching. Everybody out there all over the world, in the Philippines, como está ka? Hope you're doing well. Truly appreciate you joining us. If you are watching around the world and you are happy about this pick and Bronny James coming in, you know what? I'm happy for you. But for us that evaluate the talent, I just don't think it's a good pick for the Lakers. I absolutely don't think. Forever excited we are for Dalton Connect, I just think it's a good pick for Lakers. But then again, like you said, the odds of number 55 anyway, Stone, making it in the league is long anyways. So why not take a shot at the son of LeBron James?
Yeah. If Bronny was, like I said, if it was 17, I'd be livid. They waited until 55. They brought in who obviously LeBron wants to bring in. I don't really care as long as it's not taking minutes away from players that are better than him throughout the season. Whatever. I mean, you're not going to get a very good player at 55 regardless. And it's one of the worst. It's pick 55. People are overreacting. You're not going to get a very good player at 55. And this should not diminish Dalton Connect for people. That was a good pick. And getting a good pick at 17 is way more important and impactful than a bad pick at 55. So it doesn't really matter to me.
Stone, I like completely agree with you. I think for me, one of the things here that I'm thinking about is just like Bronny James and like his potential development in the NBA, right? And it's like the optics of it, right? Like joining a team where your dad is obviously not only one of the greatest players ever, but has an immense amount of influence on the organization. And so the assumption here is going to be, Bronny, you're in the league because of your dad. And now you're not just in the league because of your dad, but you're on the same team as your dad. And so just like psychologically or from a player development standpoint, I wonder what that does to Bronny.
Yeah, I mean, me and Gerald talked earlier. Like, I think there's better places for him to develop. I don't see him as an NBA player regardless of where he goes, so I don't really think that it matters. But I mean, if it's obviously the Lakers wouldn't have done this if they didn't sit down beforehand with both LeBron and Bronny, and all three were on the same page of, or at least if Bronny and Bron wanted this to happen, the Lakers were gonna bend over backwards to make it happen, and this wouldn't have happened without, if Bronny wanted to go somewhere else, they wouldn't have drafted him. Is sort of the bottom line. So he chose this. He wants this. LeBron wants this, obviously. So they get what they want, and I don't expect him to be an NBA player. And as long as he's not force fed minutes, I don't really care that he's a Laker.
Joe is still in the chat. He's still in the chat right now, guys. He's going at it with Alan and some of the other members.
Boston just got a way better pick, though, at with Anton Watson there. That's somebody I really would have targeted as an undrafted free agent.
Why is that the case? What do you see in Anton Watson?
I think that he's an extremely smart player. I've watched him for like 6 years now. I think he's an extremely smart player, has really taken strides athletically, very fluid with the ball. He's really good passer from the high post. The shot has come a long way. He's not very athletic as like any sort of rim protector, but he's a good team and scheme defender. I like him quite a bit. I think I had him 25th on the board as someone I really would have drafted, but he's not like in this draft. That's most drafts he would probably be in like the 40s for me. In this draft, he was 25 because it's so weak, but I really wanted to target him as another guy in undrafted free agency.
So it is official. The Lakers have drafted Bronny James at number 55. You could tell the excitement there, Nick. Our numbers exploded in the picks leading up to Bronny James. You could tell the excitement's there. Again, from all around the world, people wanted to know, is the team going to pick Bronny James? Well, something I've been predicting now for a long time is going to happen, even though, again, I thought you could find better value somewhere else. They've decided to go ahead and placate to LeBron and his upcoming free agency. Again, this is all coming to fruition. The huge contract that may be on the way, and Bronny James here to stay, Laker Nick.
Yeah, no, that's right, Gerald. To see a player, get drafted, with the numbers that he had in college. I obviously defer to Stone. I know Stone, I think you had him at 52, right? And so I guess my question is, and I think you've touched on this already, but what can we anticipate from Bronny in the coming season in terms of actual playing time? Is he going to show up in like maybe 5-10 games in the upcoming season in garbage time? Is he going to spend the majority of the time, I assume, on the G League team? What's going to happen there?
I have no idea.
I think it's going to get a lot of time, Laker Nick, on the South Bay Lakers. So better get your South Bay Lakers jerseys ready to go ahead and buy there. You also see a Lakers jersey being sold for Bronny James and all that. As far as time actual on the court, unless the season goes really bad, Nick, I foresee just a couple games as a novelty to get that historic father-son playing at the same time out there. But I don't realistically think that we should see Bronny James getting any realistic time anytime soon, as far as valuable playing time. I don't think, again, I don't see him as an NBA prospect. I just see him as more of a novelty right now at this point. He has to develop, and I'm not sure he's ever going to develop into an effective rotational player. But we will see him for, like you said, a smattering of games just to go ahead and make LeBron happy, and obviously get another historic achievement for the Los Angeles Lakers, Nick.
Yeah, no, I was seeing reports also, Gerald, you might be aware as well that Rich Paul was informing teams not to pick Bronny James. How is that legal under the rules, if at all?
He was, remember, he was actually saying that in recent minutes and just to pass, because teams in the second round were not giving guaranteed contracts. Stone and I touched on this earlier, that they were starting to go ahead and look several teams, like far up, like as up as 35, 36. They're talking about signing these players to two-way deals, which is far less expensive and less costly on a tax, limitations as far as is concerned to the salary cap. So if that's the case, yeah, I noticed that the Lakers were not involved in that. But yes, you're right. Clutch and Rich Paul saying that we don't want any part of those two ways was kind of signaling that you're going to have to go ahead and commit to Bronny James if you want to go ahead and draft him, Stone.
Yeah, it's wild. Sorry, I was reading something, but the Knicks got a much better player too right now. The two picks right after Bronny have been much better picks in my opinion.
He was actually one of your top 25.
Yeah, both of them are. McCullough Jr. I think is an instant, probably the best perimeter defender in this entire class. Yeah, I don't know what Bronny's role is this season because we don't even know what the team is yet. We don't know what guards we're going to have to start the year because a lot changes over the course of summer. So I have no clue what developmental path they're going to have for him or anything. My initial thought would be I don't think he gets minutes really. I think he plays similar to like JHS last year. We just sort of see him in garbage time here and there. That's sort of where I would view it, but we don't know what the team looks like yet. So I don't have an opinion on that until free agency.
Toronto, go ahead, Nick.
Sorry, Gerald. I was just going to ask Stone. Stone, in terms of Bronny, and I know you vetted like 75 draft prospects. What are Bronny's strengths? Like, what's your analysis of him? Apologies if I missed it, but just maybe to catch up the audience of what you see in terms of his strengths and weaknesses. I know Gerald has expressed doubts as to Bronny even being an NBA player to begin with, but just as a player, what do you see?
Yeah, I think he's a pretty solid, a really good defender at the point of attack. I don't think he's very versatile because of his size. So I think he's relegated to being a point of attack only defender. But in that role, I think he's really solid defensively. By the shooting less than some people. There's other people I know in draft circles that do believe in the shooting long term. I think he can be an average shooter. I don't think he can be anything above that really, and that's sort of the higher end outcomes of his shooting, in my opinion. I think he's a bad passer, but I think as a finisher, he's really explosive. He's a really good athlete, and he's a very good vertical leaper. He does not take a lot of load time to get up high. And off ball, I think he's rotationally really sound. So I think he's a good defender, and like both on and off ball. He's just limited on ball to only being good at the point of attack, and then offensively, I think that he's a good finisher. And I don't really see very many NBA level skills potentially beyond that on offense. So I view him more as like a summer league caliber type player, but there's definitely, in my opinion, worse players still available, or that we're even taken above him.
I'm going to say this, Stone. I'll bring it back to the story again, both you and Nick, where there was the day where he took a game off for rest, and he was sitting there in the crowd, and he had Linda Rambis on one arm, and he had Jeannie Buss on the other, and he had the look and a big smile as he was laughing with them, and they had an arm in arm. Yeah, they were both just like around his arms, wrapped around his arms, and he was just smiling and because this is a man who had control. This is a man who knew exactly what he was going to do for the future. This is a man who has knowledge and actually just the guy like with the Cheshire cat grin exactly knows what he was going to be able to do and as far as how he could work this organization for his future and for the future for his son. So he knew this all along. And I had said that. So we're also on the verge of him signing a 3-year, $160 million plus contract as well for a guy that's going to be hitting 40. So if you have issues with that, again, it's another thing that we have to consider. All of this is lining up, Nick. All of this is lining up for LeBron James, as I said it would, because again, you could just tell that he has such a hold over the Lakers organization by doing what he's been doing.
Yep, no, that's right, Gerald. And as I understand the rules, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Lakers could sign LeBron as soon as like right now, right? So it'd be extra funny, let's put it that way, if you see that deal, that 3-year deal come through, Gerald, sometime today.
We'll see. Again, it's going to be a 3-year. I think the max is 160 that he can sign for. Go ahead, Stone.
This has always been the crutch of the Lakers, is they bend over backwards for their superstars, whether it be LeBron, Kobe, whoever. They go too far in pleasing their superstars. At the end of the day, it's a business, and if like the Lakers shouldn't have given Kobe the contract they did, his final contract. They shouldn't be drafting Bronny. It's their brand at this point, though. It's do whatever you can to make your superstars as happy as possible, and it works for the in the beginning portion, or while they're still actively providing contending level value, as long as the team around them is capable. But in the end, it starts to really bite them in the butt towards the end of the careers of these superstars, or the end of the relationship, because you start really making mistakes in order to please them in the short term.
So let me ask you, in 2 years, are they drafting Bryce as well?
I have no idea. Bryce is worse than Bronny, for anyone that thinks Bryce is better. But yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. I'm just asking because, Bryce, Bronny, LeBron being all on the same team, that is a possibility.
I would imagine LeBron's retired by then, I would think.
Ace Nubian says 10 years from now, Zuri is the second. Okay. We'll see if that's the case. And we'll see more ladies drafted. Cheryl Miller was, I think, a draft choice of the Indiana Pacers. Oh, she tried out for the Indiana Pacers, if I remember correctly. Yes. And almost made the team, but didn't quite. But I thought she was a gregreat player, by the way. But Lake Rodell says, if it was 17, I would have walked away until LeBron left anyways. Yeah. A lot of people would have left because a lot of people see what I see, that he's just not ready for the NBA. And but again, like you said, at number 55, these picks, these back end picks, guys, 45, after 45, like you said, Stone, it's a crapshoot. Draft and stash, projects, and players you might not even think might make the league, and then Bronny James as well. We'll see. But yeah, just very, very, it is what it is, Stone. Something I expected, and it looks like it's happened. So.
Yep, I expected it. It happened. I'm ready to move on. I think it's a bigger. It's not as big a deal as all the media is going to make it out to be. This is gonna be the news story for the next week, 2 weeks, or really until free agency starts, which actually is only a couple days, I think. But this will be the news cycle until then, and it shouldn't be.
All right, just to give you an update on Quentin Post at number 52. Kendra Andrews is saying the Warriors got their number 52 pick, Quentin Post, back. Golden State had traded the pick for Lindy Waters. OKC traded the pick to Portland, and the Warriors bought it back. Okay. Again, cap gymnastics are just all about this right now. Maybe people anticipating how much they're going to be over the tax. We'll see. I don't have the number pick 57 pick, but New York is selecting Ariel Hukporti at 58. Yeah, so I didn't see who is number 57. I'll post that as soon as I get a chance.
I think Ulrich Chomchi.
Oh, Ulrich Chomchi from the African Academy, 7-footer or 6'11 and a half, whatever you want to say, out of the African Academy. This is a perfect time for him to be drafted right here, Stone, because Chomchi is a project. Absolutely, he defines a project, but he's someone, if it works out, I think can make the league as a backup center.
Yeah, I don't think he's an NBA prospect. I definitely would not have drafted him, but if you believe in him, you believe in him. And like I said, at this late in the draft, I don't really care who's taking who. It's too. There's good picks like Kevin McCullough. I think is a really solid pick this late. But for the most part, you're not going to find those kind of guys.
Toronto at 57 picks Ulrich Homke. Nick, let me get you back in here again. Who are you thinking if there's anyone out there as an undrafted, because the draft looks like it's just about ended if it's not ended already? Your thoughts on who you might be interested in if you've heard any names for an undrafted candidate for the Lakers?
Yeah, Gerald, I think at this point, taking Stone's advice that, even players that are picked late in the second round could hardly, be expected to contribute at least immediately to an NBA team. At this point, Rob should really be focusing his efforts on free agency. I believe it starts on Sunday, right, Gerald?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, this team, if they're not going to blow it up, as I know Stone has been advocating, they should, make the moves and bring in pieces that are going to enable, this team to maximize its chances to actually win a championship. We obviously still have holes in the roster. We have a new coach who has never coached in the NBA, and so that's going to be its own adventure in its own. So I think there are a lot of question marks left for this team, and it's nothing short of like a reality show, to be honest.
So that ends the draft. Aussie just woke up. Good morning, Aussie. The Lakers did draft at number 55, Bronny James. The second round is over because you got to remember it doesn't go full 60 because 2 teams forfeited their draft picks. Stone Hansen, Isaiah Crawford is out there, my friend. Would you love to see the Lakers pick up Isaiah Crawford?
He's the only guy worth really trying to bring in, I think. So I hope they do. And pretty much the rest of my board's all been taken of people that I think actually have a chance to be an NBA player. So I would definitely try and bring him in if we can. Anybody else that's brought in, I'm not going to care that much.
So with that said, I do want to thank you guys. Again, Stone Hansen at report_court on Twitter. Also, as well, the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. Laker Nick, great part of our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break live coverage. I'll start off with you, Laker Nick. Any last thoughts on a momentous 2-day journey for the NBA Draft and the Los Angeles Lakers?
Yeah, Gerald. Well, I'm obviously, looking forward to the Dalton Connect pick. I think, I heard Stone's thoughts on him, and as many of us, we trust Stone blindly when it comes to draft picks. So
don't do that. Don't do that.
But I think the consensus there is that Rob made the right choice with number 17, and now the hard work starts with the free agency looming, seeing who Rob brings back, who is let go, what trades happen, if any. So I think over the next 3-4 days or so, we might end up getting a really good idea of what this team is going to be looking like come fall.
Stone, before you head on out, who do you have comps to for for Isaiah Crawford? Isaiah Crawford, I know that Kurt was asking in the chat, who do you have a comp for Isaiah Crawford? Who can they identify Isaiah Crawford with?
I don't really do comps. You would probably have to find somebody else on another draft place. I don't do them because I'm actually writing a piece on why I don't do them. So stay tuned. I'll plug it and leave it there. But I don't do comps, so I don't really have one for you.
No, I was going to say Jordan. I was going to say Jordan Crawford, but no, I wasn't going to say Jordan Clarkson. Now, Jordan Clarkson may be available because they drafted players that may take up the slack for for Jordan Clarkson. So we'll see.
Really quickly, did you guys see the tweet that D'Lo put out earlier that said, "Wow"? That was it. Seemed interesting. Either he caught wind of the Bronny thing and had thoughts on that, or seemed like a player that is trying to get a long-term deal when he opts out, and the Lakers are not offering it, and he's surprised by that. So it was a cryptic tweet, weird tweet to put out. My overall prediction, though, is I agree with Alan here. I don't think D'Lo returns. I think he's out.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Let me go ahead and give one quick rundown of the second round of the draft. I'm going to go ahead and do it here in just a second. Right here is, of course, the Lakers fast break. Go ahead and head on out after that. But thank you again for watching and listening. If you've not yet liked and subscribed, please do so. I'm going to go ahead and give a quick rundown and then some final thoughts. 31st was Jonathan Mogbo out of San Francisco. Jazz drafted Kyle Filipowski. Bucks drafted Tyler Smith. The Trailblazers sent Tyler Kolek to the Knicks. The Spurs sent Johnny Furphy to the Pacers. The Pacers sent Juan Nunez to the Spurs. Timberwolves drafted Bobby Clifton and traded him to the Pistons. The Knicks sent to the Thunder AJ Mitchell. Grizzlies drafted Jalen Wells. Also, Iguodaro was reportedly traded to the Suns. Adam Bona by the 76ers was drafted next. Hornets drafted KJ Simpson. Nikola Jurisic was traded to the Hawks. Pele Larson was traded to the Heat. Jamal Sheed was drafted next by the Kings, and he was traded to the Raptors. Cam Christie was drafted by the Clippers. Antonio Reeves was traded to the Pelicans. Harrison Ingram was drafted next by the Spurs. Tristan Newton and Enrique Freeman were drafted next by the Pacers. Melvin Ajinça was traded to the Mavericks by the Knicks. Quinn Post was reportedly traded to the Thunder. Then the draft pick was traded to the Thunder, then to the Blazers, then back to the Warriors. Quentin Post was started out as a draft pick of the Warriors, ended up at the end of the day a draft pick of the Warriors. Cam Spencer was reportedly traded to the Grizzlies. Anton Watson was drafted next at 54 by the Celtics out of Gonzaga. Bronny James is now a Los Angeles Laker, drafted 55. Ken McCullough Jr. was traded to the Knicks by the Suns. And Ulrich Komke was drafted at 57. He was reportedly traded to the Raptors. And Ariel Hukporti out of MHP Ryerson was traded to the Knicks. So, guys, there you have it. The second round is complete. A lot of mad people in our chat, the Best Lakers chat room that's out there. Nick, I'm going to ask you, I know you're not here often on our live feeds, on our live shows, but I'm going to have to ask you, my friend, if Joe really sticks to what he's going to say, Nick, I'm going to need some more help from you, my friend.
Yeah, Gerald, actually, you read my mind because I was about to mention, Joe, if you're listening, don't let Bronny James ruin your LFB career. You have a very strong following, a strong contingent out here. And I'm sure that the community would love to hear your thoughts and your rants and your legendary takes. So, Joe, don't let Bronny James derail the LFB.
Joe's had the link for 2.5 hours, Alan, so he's been able to come on here at any point in time he's wanted to. So,
in the last decade, the only player that has stuck in the NBA has been Aaron Wiggins, that was picked at 55. No other player in the last decade at 55 has really done anything. So it's possible. Don't let it ruin your day. It's not like you picked him at 17. Not that big a deal.
Yeah, again, that's why I thought 55. I mean, I don't want to say it's a throwaway pick stone, but
most of the time it is.
At it, yeah, most of the time it is a throwaway pick. So why not make LeBron happy? But the thing is, just it tells me like it's a larger picture, like you're wanting to keep LeBron, you're committing to LeBron. This whole thing I envisioned as far as drafting Bronny, then committing to a full 3-year contract for the full amount. He's getting his cake and eating it too. And I just don't see good things emanating from it for a 42-year-old player. No matter how good LeBron is at 42, it's still a 42-year-old player, getting $50+ million of your salary cap. And for a team that's probably going to hit the second apron by that time, it's going to be hard for the Lakers, to maneuver.
Yeah, that's why we should have blown it up, because the only way to keep LeBron, if you really wanted to try and build a contender, which I don't think we have the pieces to do, is to give him a longer term contract that is going to be pretty. I mean, LeBron has been an anomaly, but at some point he's going to fall off. And I think by the end of that contract, it's not going to look very good. I would completely start over. They're not going to, but I think Dalton Connect is a nicer, younger piece to have past that era, hopefully.
Well, guys, great having you here. We're going to go ahead and check on out. Once again, it is the Lakers.
Lakers just signed someone in undrafted free agency.
Isaiah Crawford?
No, unfortunately. Armel Traore from France.
Okay. French
he played on Wemby's team last year. I'm not a huge fan, but do I know anything about him? I didn't watch him this year. I watched him last year. Not an NBA player to me, but I didn't have him ranked because I didn't watch his film or get to his film in time this year.
And we're getting ribbed about like Tony. Thank you for stopping by. Please like and subscribe. We're taking it. I'm not, we deserve all the stuff right now. So Laker Nick, as a Laker fan that you and I are, and Stone is as well, we're going to be receiving a lot of flack for Bronny James. A lot of flack. That's all I'll say. But Nick, any last thoughts before we head on out, my friend?
Isaiah Crawford to the Kings.
Good move by the Kings.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, that's all.
Yeah. No, Gerald. Yeah, I think Stone put an end on it nicely. Hopefully, the Lakers again round up the roster over the next few days, and we're able to start focusing on summer league, and then putting the touches on the final roster for the coming season.
Well, what did you know? At the final seconds, at the last moment, who is here? Let me just go ahead and change it. You guys wanted Joe. Here he is. It is Joe Soro. Joe is coming into the stream, I hope. Is he able to? I'm going to see if I can add him in here. There he is. It's Joe. What's up, Joe?
I don't know how loud it is. Can you all hear me? Well,
yeah, you're cutting in and out, but we got you. We got you, my friend.
okay, so I really don't know what to say that I haven't already said, but the show is over, guys. Not our show, but this Lakers show. They catered to a narcissistic ass hat in LeBron James, who, after 3 stops in Cleveland, Miami, and Cleveland, couldn't control ownership, couldn't control everything that he wants to control, stuff that he doesn't own, by the way, but finally gets it on the 4th try, comes to LA, and essentially gets everything catered to him. And the results are 1 championship 5 seasons ago. You have an inept owner, a useless general manager, and I don't care how bad the second round is this year, last year, or the last 20 years. You are not in a position to say anything about what talent is good or bad at this point. You are a play-in team for the last 10 years. I'm exaggerating, obviously. And then this is the result. The result is we're playing, and I like the term Make-A-Wish. We've become the Make-A-Wish Foundation in LA, so that a dad and a son can go play hopscotch on a basketball court. Fuck you and fuck your team, Jeannie. Seriously, fuck you and fuck LeBron James. I'm out.
And with that ends the tenure for Joe. He just hung up on us.
Is that the final Joe rant we'll ever have?
I hope not.
Joe, please drive safe. Please drive safe.
Drive safe. Joe, are you still with us? Joe, you still with us?
I thought I was signing off.
Okay. No worries. They all want you to come back. I want you to come back as well,
I
my friend.
understand that, guys. I understand that, and I'm not. I never said I was leaving the show, but there is no show for me here if I'm not watching. I'm not supporting this, guys. Seriously, what are we supporting? Stone can put it in all as nice as he can. I'm not saying he's wrong, but this is a joke. This is a joke. This team is more concerned about what some asshole who's trying to control everything thinks and wants above winning. And the ultimate insult is, what did Stone just say after they picked Bronny? He just picked two players that were better at that position. So you guys tell me, why am I overreacting? These guys aren't interested in winning. That's why I said what I said. If you're not interested in winning, I'm not spending 300 hours watching this shit. Fuck them. I'm done. Done watching. I don't know if I'll ever watch. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But as of right now, no. They've given me no reason to respect any of them. Not Rob Pelinka. And I already didn't like these people to begin with, but you can work. Sometimes you got to deal with people you don't like. But these guys are stupid, worthless. They should not own or control a basketball team. I guarantee you, they're guys like Brad Stevens and Presti, all those guys, they're probably sitting there twirling their pins, laughing at this joke. Seriously, you're telling me I'm the only one that's overreacting like this, that cares? I'm not the only one. This is a joke. You guys want to go watch a soap opera? Go watch. I'm done. So that's it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to come back. I really don't. I don't know. It's going to be a long time till we find out. I can't even like fathom the idea. Opening night, it's going to be Bronny this, Bronny that. I'm like, motherfuckers, are you guys wanting to win a championship? Or are you guys going to talk about some 55 pick in last year's draft that no one gives a shit about? Am I overreacting? Does that not make sense? Is this what you guys want to watch?
Well, Joe, I wanted to thank you for everything you've done. I'm hoping you'll reconsider, but I can understand you're upset.
I'm not watching. I'm not supporting this. So coming on is one thing, but I'm not gonna know shit. So I don't see the point. Something would drastically have to happen. I really joke. It's a goddamn joke. I'm serious. I mean, it's getting worse the more I think about it. This is a joke. They need to just. Good luck. But I'm gonna head out, guys. Thanks for having me on, and I don't know when I'll be back.
No worries, Joe. No worries.
Take care.
That was Joe Sorrell right there for you. He is heading out. He is logging out. He is on this drive. Drive safely, Joe. Yes. We hopefully that you will return. We're hopeful that you'll return. But there you have it. You wanted the rant. You got the rant there at the end of the show. But Stone and Nick, I want your last final thoughts on Joe's rant before we head on out. Stone, I'll start with you first, my friend.
Well, if it is the end, I enjoyed meeting you, Joe. I enjoyed talking to you, having conversations. Yeah, I mean, I understand it's definitely frustrating. I don't think it'll have a big impact on the Lakers because I don't think they were ever going to win anytime soon. I just don't think they put themselves in a position to be competitive anytime soon whatsoever. And I don't think Bronny really changes that for me, but I understand the rationale behind it. So enjoyed meeting you. Hopefully you'll be back, but if not, enjoy not having to put yourself through playing level basketball.
Laker Nick, any last thoughts for Joe on his rant before we head on out?
Yeah, Joe, I think expressed the emotions of a lot of folks in the LFB community, and that's exactly one of the reasons, or the main reason, why Joe shouldn't stop doing the show. Gerald, you could probably just give him the cliff notes of the game, and he could always commentate on the Lakers. But Joe has a point. He has a right to feel how he wants to feel. Um, it it surprised me. I know it didn't surprise you, Gerald, that the Lakers took Bronny James. It just seemed a little bit too much of a Make a Wish Foundation type of pick. But I guess stranger things have happened, and now we find ourselves, being coached by a podcaster and picking a player largely on the basis of who his dad is. And again, maybe we're completely wrong, Gerald, and this ends up working out, and JJ Redick and Bronny James end up being positive members of the Lakers organization. But we're in a wait and see mode now.
We are definitely in a wait and see mode now, indeed. Laker Nick, Stone Hansen, great to have you here. Laker Nick, part of our playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break live coverage, which hopefully will start next week, the California Classic. And Stone Hansen, part of our great coverage right there for you. You could catch him each and every time out at report_court on Twitter, and also as well the Upside Swings NBA Draft Podcast. JSJ says, I'll stay Lakers for life. Testing your patience, that it is for everyone out there. And you see the emotions are running high. I'm hoping Joe will reconsider. But for now, I wish you the best, Joe. And I wish everyone out there the best. Thanks again for joining us for over 2.5 hours of coverage, and even more so on our first round. Thank you so much again for being part of what we do. Stone, Nick, truly appreciate it. Joe, if you're out there, hopefully you'll come back to us soon. And hopefully you out there will come back to us soon right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.